Hello and welcome back to Rogue Trader. We are in Act 2. We are outside of Footfall. We are exploring a part of the game that I have never gotten to before. Some of the stuff that we had looked at in early alpha included Footfall, included kind of like some of the stuff we did yesterday. And now we're actually hitting the point in the game. All the Act 1 was new to me. But we're hitting the point in the game where absolutely everything moving forward is stuff I have not seen whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. And I'm very excited about that. I have to tell you, I am very, very excited. I tried to do a respec this morning on Jay, but I actually couldn't respec her in the way that I had hoped, / at all, which is a real disappointment. I thought maybe I could turn her into a soldier. But it turned out you actually can't, because this is like a mastered archetype, you actually can't reset this at all. You can only change this other one. Her other archetype. So I'm just realizing she very annoyingly is deselecting every time I switch over here. There we go. So you can only rework her master tactician traits, or whatever you decide her to be. And the base one is not fixable. So I've asked them to maybe reconsider that. I am gonna maybe, you know what? No, I'm not. We're not using them. We don't need them. Let's explore. VODs are good for you. You usually fall asleep during the stream and miss the end of them. Okay. We go into the next ship battle or going back to the Shadow Quarters to look for secret loot? We'll make our way back to the Shadow Quarters eventually, but right now the only thing there is the quarantine zone, which was still locked when we went by. They were still like, we're still clearing mines. So I know we're gonna have to go back and talk to those guys eventually anyway, once we figure out like what's going on with the agri world and whether or not we want to supply them with goods. So we'll probably just wait till then. One thing I did discover last night off stream that I'm really, really sad about missing is in the Cenobium, there was like a secret puzzle based on like the lore of the Omnisaya and the first liturgy. And I missed that chest thinking I could go back to it later. And in that chest, it turns out, is an arc rifle, which is basically the lightning staff in gun form. And it's so good, and I'm so sad that I don't have it. It's really, really good on Pascal. She's winning the fashion game. She is. I'm really, yeah, I'm like bummed we can't have Jay. Like my whole thought for our party was that we would have Jay in it. And I guess we're going with like Cassia right now, or Argenta. Arge is dogmatic. Dogmatic 3, which is a bit of a problem because I don't think we can actually break her off of that. Heinrichs, I'm convinced we can still turn. All Inquisitors like run the risk of being turned. I will actually give Argenta a level up. I'm sorry I said I wasn't going to, but now I'm going to. Like, if you could make Jay a soldier with the 2 pistols and then turn her into an arch militant, so like every type of gun gives her a stack of versatility, oh, it would be so good. In her first round, she could double shot both pistols, then run and gun, switch to 2 more pistols, double shot again, and get 4 stacks of versatility immediately. And if you took something like Always Ready, in the first round, she would get plus 30 weapon skill and ballistic skill. That's huge. I am also realizing also how to build Argenta and how to make bolters work, which is crits. And that's not really how I've been playing her properly. And I don't know what affects crits in terms of stats. If it's just ballistic skill. Actually, I think it's probably just talents. When the arch targets, militants targets have their dodge reduced by any effect, they gain plus 10 critical hit chance. When they have their parry reduced by ant effects, typo, they deal 20% crit damage. We're gonna take that one. That extra 10% crit chance is what I'm here for. We need to talk to companions at the ship. Oh, I mean, probably. We haven't really talked to anybody on the ship yet. Almost at all. Hellcat, lock the companions into archetypes. Might break game balance if you can respec to other things. Yeah, but... This name is familiar. I've seen it in observer reports. 7 plasteel is a big deposit. It's just that there's all these other things that are clearly worth a lot. I probably shouldn't have done this to adamantine. I don't know. I just think like, you know, in Baldur's Gate, they eventually came out and they were like, okay, we're going to let you respect any character in any class you want. So like Shadowheart could become like a paladin or a bard if you'd prefer. And it opened up a lot of gameplay styles and people like actually like really liked it. And I just don't really see any reason why not to. I think that like the base talents that a couple of the characters get that are unique wouldn't really screw things too badly. I mean, Pascal as a soldier would be pretty fun, so he could have a charge. But also, like, they still have, like, their traits still give them... They're still kind of, like, locked into certain sets of things. They gotta fix that. This, like, switching, not keeping this locked into place, that's gonna drive people nuts. Yeah, fellowship advancement, archetype advancement, humanity's finest fellowship, and cold trader all give her bonuses to fellowship. So even if you played her as a soldier, she'd still have like cold trader, humanity's finest, and the origin advancement. She'd still have a really high fellowship score. Marinara, thank you for the 16 months. Yarr, it's driving me nuts. Like a steering wheel jammed up me crotch. Thank you so much, dude, for 16 months at tier 3. You are a maniac, and I appreciate you a lot. Hope you're doing well. High ballistic skill plus talents help with crits. Yeah. Yeah, you could just make a mercenary to like fill the role. And if I can't make Jay a soldier, I might actually end up doing that. Because I can't have Argenta running around with a bunch of heretics committing heresy. It just doesn't make sense to me. Officers can buff you to Oblivion. I was watching some builds recently. They made Argenta kill 20 units before the enemy got a chance to act. Yeah, I mean, stacking officers is like the most broken thing you can do right now. Like if you put 3 officers in your party, it's like guaranteed you basically win every encounter. Giving turns lots of momentum, officer heroic act over and over. It's impressive, but also boring how powerful it is. Yeah, absolutely. There's always gonna be broken builds if you want to go down that route. Perion, good morning. Hello. Find anything here? No. Pirate ships? I should repair my hull if we're going in here.
Action economy moment.
Exactly, action economy. If you have more turns than the other team, you just instantly win. It's why in D&D, even if you're level 20, if you fight 1,000 goblins, you still lose.
Paint the stars red.
Alderi Shadow Hunters with torpedoes. clusters of small ships that also follow the same rules in combat as torpedoes. What's your deal? What do you have here? Hollow field. Hollow projections that disrupt the targeting systems of enemy ships. Each attack made by an enemy has an equal chance of targeting either the real ship or its projections. Each time a projection is hit, the hollow field loses 1 charge. Huh. Interesting.
Send them into the cold void.
Ooh. Interesting.
Unleash torment.
Let's get some torpedoes out here. I'm hoping if I move here, these torpedoes can't target me.
Chart a course.
But I'm going to be honest. I don't know if that's true.
Unleash our wrath upon my enemies.
Aha. Oh, okay. So hitting these guys with the macro cannons before hitting them with the lance weapon is for sure the way to go.
Annihilate them.
Oh, you're so close.
Let destruction pour forth.
Now, if I warp wave you, you go kaboom. And then I could boost your pop frontal shields. I want to say my port side. Port is left. Oh, I got that wrong on the last stream. Well, that's okay. Nah, that could have been worse. That's a pretty big swing. I don't know that we need to do that. Ah, so close.
Steer us to our target.
I mean, this is a good hunting position to be in. I can't exactly hit him, but he can't really do much either. More torpedoes.
Torpedoes, now!
All right, let's go here.
Guide us.
Let's hit him with the macro cannons.
Unleash our wrath upon my enemies.
I'd really like to hit him after with the lance weapon, but... Oh, we managed to land one of them.
Emblazon our
And we
path.
blast them. And I believe I can hit him with that warp wave. Oh, that's cool. If a ship blows up, it also hurts you. Blam. That's it?
Got them.
Yo. Didn't even take damage. It's like I immediately figured out how warp combat works. Hell yeah, dudes. They were also a lot weaker, but torpedo on torpedo action, yeah. It's like setting a table fork, 4 letters goes left, port, 4 letters goes left. Oh, that's a good way to remember it. My method was I think my method was that there's an R in starboard and R means right. But I actually think I thought there was an R in port and R means right. Which obviously this doesn't make any sense. So I don't know what I was thinking, but mystery. Monastery of the Order of the Hammer. Transmission from Foulstone. Sent by members of the Order of the Hammer, votaries of Saint Cognitus, whose monastery is the only settlement on the planet. Or rather, used to be. Some time ago, the transport vessel, the Navica, unloaded several thousand refugees from the planet belonging to rogue trader Winterscale. The Order of the Hammer had judged this invasion to be an act of aggression and is asking for your lordship's protection. We will not abandon people of faith in distress. Prepare a landing party in my shuttle. I'm taking the monastery under protection. These people are victims, not invaders. Prepare my shuttle. I will head to the planet and resolve this conflict. Or this is of no interest to me. I mean, neither of these sound like murder. We don't like the faith. Perhaps there's an option to resolve this heretically. But there is an AR in starboard. That's true. But I don't know how that helps us. 11 days after the feast of the passing of Nicomedes Keefe, the champion of the faith, disquietude marred the calm of the monastery of the Order of the Hammer. Countless tortured souls steeped in fear arrived on Foulstone in a starbark. A great apostasy had befallen their home and turned them into abject wanderers seeking help and refuge. Their wicked and cruel captain, the owner of the Navica, had betrayed them. Once the unknowing souls in his care had made landfall on the world's surface, he most deviously recalled his shuttles and left, thus ridding himself of his duty to care for the unfortunate lot. Not knowing how they would survive in Foulstone's grim wastelands, the Forsaken people came to the monastery of Saint Cognitus, and there they surrounded its walls. They hammered their fist on the gates and implored and wailed, "Take us in, protect us." And what was once a place of serenity and grace was now full of din, disorder, and all manners of things despicable. The interlopers brought with them worldly futility and strife, and mayhaps also the seeds of alluring blasphemies, if fiendly heathens lurked in their midst. After a prayer, the prelate Hectarchus turned his eye to the past in search of instruction. Prelate Hectarchus recalled the first missionaries to set foot on Foulstone's vast wasteland, led by their zeal for serving St. Cognitus, and those missionaries had received the blessing of Nicomedes Keefe, the champion of the faith, who had traveled with them in their starbark, to found in this place a humble and pure abode wherein to cultivate wisdom and piety. That is a long run-on sentence. And St. Cognitus, a man of great endeavors, a warrior and wise artificer, never cowered behind the walls of a librarium, but stepped bravely into the darkness, carrying light in the palm of his hands. And he commanded others to do the same. And not only Foulstone, but many other worlds of the Koronus Expanse bear its imprint. And the prelate Hectarchus did welcome the interlopers warmly as his guests, but he did warn his brethren to keep their vigilance. The brethren and sisters of the Order of the Hammer came forth to meet the strangers, carrying water and protein victuals, medicinal herbs, and jugs of promethium. But the crowd came to blows over viands, and blood was spilt. Many were trampled and mauled in the stampede, and some of the dwellers of the monastery. Then the warriors of the Order of the Hammer donned their flak cowls, inscribed words of praise to the God Emperor on their tactical visors, and went forth ready to render service in battle. With lasguns and bolters, they pierced the interlopers. With their chain swords and power flails, they struck them, and a great bloody harvest was reaped on that day. But the interlopers, too, scant through though their armament was, and scanter still their skill in battle, slew many among the monastery's dwellers, for great were their number and greater their desperation. The monks fled beyond their walls. They rang the vox alarm and shut the gate, commanded the armed guards to keep watch over the gate, slaying any who approached. A quarrel broke out. The hungry and sick lay siege to the monastery begging for help, and in their spite they blocked the water collector and unpowered the generatorium. The faithful, in the meantime, made ready to resist. And a miracle came to pass. The god emperor sent his champion, his confidant, his right hand, the rogue trader of the blessed house von Valancius. May the light of his grace remain upon it forever. The blessed rogue trader unleashed his armed forces upon interlopers and monks alike, wreaking great shedding of blood and pillaging for his delectation. So was changed forevermore the life of the monastery of the Order of the Hammer and its brethren. Having waged a great battle and plundered mercilessly, the rogue trader claimed his wicked harvest and departed Foulstone with nary a backward look. Thus began the chronicle of Foulstone's woes and misdeeds that were to bring the world to ruin and oblivion. Well, that was rough. 3 profit factor, 5 heretical, a bunch of holy gifts. Wow, that's so much holy gifts. Those are very valuable. And the Hammer of Epiphany. All damage dealt by this weapon pushes an enemy. When this weapon pushes an enemy is increased by 100%. Hell yeah, brother. What's very confusing is push doesn't do damage, I didn't think. Looks the same as the Thunderhammer. I'm gonna keep the greatsword. Am I? No, I think I will take that power hammer. More often than not, I'm using this. But I think it's better. The Thunder Hammer is still probably a better option than the Greatsword. That 40% armor pen is like pretty big. And I don't need to parry because I've got the chainsword on my other hand. The iron port is softer. True, true. We are pirates. It's more that the non-strike options deal more damage. I mean, I just like the big hammer as well. I don't want to come back here. Surely I can get more of these extractums. I might have to talk to somebody. Wow. The Frozen Prince. Crossroad of 100 Dreams. Or Celio Prophecy. Obviously, that's got to be related to Cassia. Langren's Belt. So the only place I've managed to find right now is Janus. Which is the last place I want to go to. Heinrichs wants to talk about the cult. Jay wants to talk about stuff, and Argento wants to talk about stuff. Oh my. We need a colony. We need to inspect the fuel lever. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta look at the ship. Yeah. Contracts. Oh. Interesting. I didn't know this. Vladimir Tokera has entered into a trade war. Having lost several of his Xenotech procurers, he's in need of powerful and influential suppliers. If I can harvest 2 Xenotech, I'll get +3 profit. Ah. Ah, I see. Lord Inquisitor Calcazar's service has been buying up top quality plasteel and transporting it to unknown locations. While the nature of the Lord Inquisitor's secretive grand-scale manufacturing operation remains unknown, the names of those assisting him are uttered with great respect. Well, I don't particularly like helping the Inquisition. I do like money. So I am going to hit up on that. 100 Dreams Crossroads or Langren's Belt. We have dumped cargo. Langren's Belt is a hotbed of Xeno heresy. Langren's Belt we found, didn't we? Langren's Belt's over here. All right. Let's wander around the bridge. Wondering before, is there a benefit of using 2 one-handed swords on Abelard? If I was to take 2 dual wield proficiency, I could make it a secondary attack. But my understanding is that the parry, the +10 parry on the second chainsword, still counts. Would count if this chainsword had +10 parry, but it's an amber chainsword. So the reason he's using a second chainsword is because one is anti-armor and the other one is for parrying. All right. I got a few things we got to look at. Argenta needed to talk to me? Yes. Yeah. We'll do some chit chats and we'll look at this lever. Big Turk, greetings. Oh yeah, let's talk about these cultists.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, rogue trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Yeah, let's do it. The option is let her or don't have this conversation. That relic won't save her for me turning her into a heretic. You're number 2. Get out of here, number 2. I won't have it. Big Bad, how are you? Yeah, so for like the dual wielding, I've also had like Abelard with like a chainsword and a knife in the other hand because the knife gives good parry rating. So it varies. I really do like that they keep bringing you back to these like other locations on the ship, that they use these for all these other scenes from Act 1. Argenta drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked to the sweeping signature on the warrant, a seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me with flames of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest the light in me, grace me. If thou hearest a plea of mine, bless me with wrath of fury and righteousness. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to servants of thine and ruin to foes of thine, a fate of terror and righteousness. Rogue Trader, we need to talk, or rather, I need to tell you something, the truth. The truth about how I ended up on this ship and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. Am I understanding that you lied to me? No! I'm one of the Adeptus Sororitas, a bearer of the Emperor's tenets, and I do not lie. I wasn't ready to speak candidly with you. I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story and you'll see. Starting at the beginning, it's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed, the reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected, and no one was trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That's when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest, a feral world away from convenient warp routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. I've never heard of this planet. Does it belong to us? The planet is ours by right, but it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. The description of Salus Prime was familiar. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend, the legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Argenta, the living saint, my patroness. The order named me after her. She died millennia ago when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch her ashes or her holy relic, the one star. So I want to get this. For the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place for the saints remain, one would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Okay, so if I go here, because I'm a heretic, it's going to be bad. I don't lie, just don't tell the truth, right? That's a convenient clarification. Imagine when I felt that this flash of insight came upon me. The world where St. Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its whereabouts. And suddenly, I myself, named after that saint, come across this information. It was important. I must journey to the planet and find the ship, so I asked the Reverend to let me go. I boarded the ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet. You mentioned something called the One Star. What is it? A relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the order Pronatus. We attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one knows what it is. A banner, a set of armor, or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness and lost with Argenta's death. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. Why did you keep it secret from the Reverend? A potent revealed to me personally. I told Reverend the honest truth that I was going on a personal pilgrimage. It was a pilgrimage, as if St. Argenta had shown me a way. If I had found the ship and set foot in the docks and laid my hand on the remains and the relic, it would have been a sign I had truly been blessed. If you were the only one who described what you were dealing with once, the planet had been described to you, and then the secret was yours and no one else's, as if the decision of what to do about it. You could have gotten yourself killed, no one would have learned about its existence. Searching for your destiny, for your place in the world, is a special matter, a personal one. You either succeed or you don't. Or your actions were driven by hubris. You wanted to keep the discovery all to yourself. I need her to, like, doubt her faith. You suspect me of unworthy urges, but I will accept this reproach and try my best to think on it. The sisters know the meaning of humility. Defeat. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note. I was expecting this. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. There was an ambush waiting on the planet. I landed there with a small unit. Knew her hagiography by heart. I knew all the legends. I followed the clues, the descriptions of mountains and rivers, and I was certain that I had found the way, and that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic shrine on footfall, something about ways, doors, please address to the Lord, the edge of daybreak. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us. My whole unit perished, all those honest, brave people I'd led to search for the relic. It was a miracle I didn't perish along with them. The cultists on Footfall, the cultists on Salus Prime, the cultists attacking the ship, and Conrad's betrayal. These are all links in the same chain. What if they've long infiltrated the ranks of Von Valancius? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? How did you manage to escape from these cultists? You can't romance her either. No, I know. It's sad. I don't think you can make her come to the dark side because she starts at level 3 dogmatic. Yeah, I think so too, but it's, you know, I'm gonna try. She's said a couple of things that have made me be like, ooh, that's a little heretical. That's a little bloodlusty. That's a little, you know. I'm a firm believer that anyone can fall to the ruinous powers. Inquisitors fall all the time. Half of the Space Marines fell, so why not these ones? Theodore's people barely received the distress call. Received the distress call and came to my rescue, brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened when they arrived. Severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained. Shouted for to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took the shuttle and pulled out. When I came to, we were in the middle of a warp jump. Well, sadly, Conrad escaped. No, I want you to blame yourself for this. That's why you didn't trust me. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the arch enemy. Suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists, and I was afraid of another betrayal. So I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption or the light of righteousness. Just to clarify, you were wounded and you never found St. Argenta's ship. Rushed to Theodore the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Salus Prime. The warp had destroyed the old route, and the plotting a new one would take a great deal of time. The route was lost, the knowledge of it died in the attack, and now we have a new lead, the data that we collected in the cultist shrine. I don't care what reprobate the executed said, there must be a way to track them down. Will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? Oh, well, searching for ancient ships and relics is an exciting prospect. Of course I'll help you. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will, marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. May light be with us on this path. I didn't really say anything about heretics being punished, but I did say I would be interested in stealing all of this loot. Maybe corrupting it for ourselves. Barely any sisters fell to chaos, but it has happened, right? As long as one has fallen. Where is this lever? They said a fuel lever. Somewhere. Was loosey-goosey. It's gotta be it. Fuel system analysis in progress. No failures detected. System operational. That doesn't look operational. Yes, swing your incense at it. That'll help. Always. Where are Warhammers 1k through 39k at? Well, I guess we have 40k and we have 41k. If you go back, I mean, depending on how you look at it, fantasy could maybe be 1k. But it's a good question. When are we gonna get the glory days, man? That's it. I touched that button and it lit up. Calibrate the Vox system. Meet with the Vox Master. Okay. Jay had a quest for us as well. Hello there in the void.
I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming.
God, our guy's so funny looking.
Let's strike a deal, Shireen. I will watch your back if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted?
Was there business you wanted to discuss?
Oh, Shireen, I did manage to spark your interest.
Secret meeting. Secret meeting in the office. The Exalted One himself brought us together the day you crossed Vladim's threshold. He led us to cargo and gave us his blessing for return. Do you know what people in my world say when such a thing happens? What gain is to be shared with your neighbor? Ooh. She points at the containers in front of her. One contains a polished Aldari rifle. The other... a Drukari sword. I'm sharing what I've gained. Please accept these humble gifts in honor of our wildly successful, though suddenly struck friendship. You consider these gifts? My lowliest enforcers are equipped with deadlier weapons than this. This rifle can only perform Deadeye attacks. Whenever the wielder scores a crit hit, they gain an additional attack this turn. Whoa. only an Eldari can use this weapon. Okay. This requires Drukari. It's a Drukari power weapon. Increased area of effect on the area attack, which I'm assuming is cleave. But yeah, let's spit in this. You consider these gifts? Next time, I will try to present you with a worthier gift. So the matter I wanted to discuss with you is related to my business. You know, I sell Xeno artifacts to Imperial subjects and Imperial trinkets to Xenos. Business is going well. My network runs without my participation, but when it comes to expansion, that's where I've hit a wall. Rivals envious of my success, Falco especially. The theft of the cargo was his doing, but I can never predict what that Ashmeg will do next. I think I follow you. You wish to use me? Exalted One, forfend. Could such a lowly servant of the Emperor use a radiant bearer of the warrant like some kind of tool? The other way around, however. If the rogue trader put in a good word for me with the servants of the Adeptus Administratum, I could become an official trade representative of the Imperium. A little scrap of paper will offer me and my agents protection against Ashmeg's schemes, far better than any refractor field. And even the Inquisition will have to think twice before they mess with me, because I'll be representative of the law in my own right. So what, you want me to make you basically a rogue trader on your own? Get out of here. Best part about this is it will cost you precisely nothing. All you have to do is stop by the Administrative Palace and obtain a certificate from your Master of Seals. The informants tell me the palace is located on Dargonis, your capital world. How do I benefit? Besides being in receipt of my eternal gratitude, won't it be beneficial to have someone in your retinue with the weight of authority rather than another pawn? One slip of paper and I'll be able to extend my networks to systems far beyond footfall. My agents will be your ears and eyes through the expanse. I will take it into consideration. I mean, clearly the option of denying her is like very dogmatic. And if she is Casabalacan, which I guess she is if she's Xenotrade, I would consider it. She'll get a custom Drukari icon for your character. She literally meets you with an ISS already trying to scam you off of their head. A little spy network, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of thinking like maybe I can place her somewhere, especially because I'm not using her in my party. I don't know if that's an option, but perhaps your thoughts will move you in the right direction with a little encouragement. You must have some faction in mind you'd like to establish relationships with. The Drusians? The hot-headed pirates of the Casablanca? You merely need to use the right words like a lock and a key and people will open their hearts or their wallets. Ooh, boo, 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 boo. I do like keeping her at bay. I don't like the idea of like owing her favors. But I'm also a rogue trader. I don't have to owe anybody favors. I just do whatever I want. So Casabalacan is Xenos, Drusen is like Emperor, Admech is Admech. Pirates is the closest to Heresy, really. So I think I might hit this one. She's a scheming officer. Yeah, we're gonna go pirates. If you change your mind about my proposal, you can find me on the bridge. Just say the word and I'll come. Heinrichs. Almost done with ship stuff. Now we have some sort of Vox calibration we have to do as well. Oh. Connect me to the vessel's main channel. I wish to bolster the morale of my crew. You address the crew with a rousing speech and hear your voice roil through the ship, reaching the normally quiet corners of the vessel. When the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. Great. The ship's Vox system is malfunctioning. Is it? We just used it. Vox system is functioning as expected. No communication problems have been reported. Please allow me to check the system calibration to your presence to alleviate any concerns. Click, 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 click. No issues detected. The system is working as expected. Nod and leave without saying a word. Visit the Forgotten Twins. Okay. I also need to visit Heinrichs, who is back here. You wanted to discuss the nature of your mission. We're just holding meetings this morning. Just non-stop meetings. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. And now would be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship. I welcome the chance to assist with the Inquisition. No. I don't object to you personally, but I find the continuous presence of an Inquisition agent at my side slightly unnerving. As long as there's no substantial reason for it, your concern is unfounded. It's not like I'm committing mass heresy all the time. The cult of the Final Dawn. The madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Koronus Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have his acolyte accompany the rogue traitor. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world. Why would Ordos Xenos agents investigate a chaos cult? Good question. Initially, our arrival in the Koronus Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos, but there is more. A cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I can reveal the full truth someday. How is he going to deal with me getting a bunch of Xenos as companions? I'm very curious. The Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter he's willing to show lenience towards my actions that could be considered as radical. I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue traitor. To be frank, I'm surprised the Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weaknesses of soul and mind, even if someone who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. You have spies on my worlds? A secretary in the administrative department. The planet's governor and Theodora were fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath to the Golden Throne and eliminate threats to the Imperium. Achilles Shalandar. Let's have him killed. As soon as we contact Argonis, I will introduce you to the new head of dynasty. I'm sure you'll appreciate the presence of an advisor among your subjects. I want to know more about this cult. Chaos worshippers, most often agents of the throne, run into lone renegades stirring up the rabble, insane prophets and hysterical visionaries preaching the end of days, a passing comet, a mutant rebellion, onslaught of monsters, yada yada yada. Each time they come up with a new reason why the people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort and the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne were spent before we established the connection between those heretics. The cult of the Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune tellers. They spread their agents all over the Expanse, disseminating heresy among honest people. There's a certain strategy to their actions that changes whenever we get too close. And finally, they have enough military power to have had the 2 ships that we sent after them later discovered as wreckage. Making difficulties in warp jumps is detrimental to us, but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery. After the events on Rykad Minoris, I suspect the cult might have built its nest inside Winterscale's domain, but the latest reports indicate it's your protectorate that is harboring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chances of getting closer. Are you laying an accusation against my dynasty? Chaos treads softly, Big Turg. The main danger of secret cults and sects is that they are like seeds. They remain in the ground for decades, safe from scrutiny until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruit presents itself. That's basically my plan right now. An emergence of a cult on the rogue trader's planets does not mean the dynasty head himself is a chaos worshipper. That'd be wild. That's a crazy accusation. Why would you say that, Heinrich? Ooh. Having said that, I should be noted that Theodora was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms. A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. If it is indeed so, it is your best interests to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself. All right, what else do you want? Deliver me the system that contains the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. Accompany you to the surface, determine what the cult is planning, yada yada yada. Very well may include the blessed engines of Admech or even the followers of the Omnissiah themselves. The answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One system is already lost. May the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again. We met a Chaos Space Marine. Do we risk running into his brothers? Chaos Space Marines siding with the cult is very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently. These traitors seldom show up alone. It's best we can count on having to deal with just a squad of Space Marines and not an entire company. God, I hope we don't have to deal with a squad of Space Marines. That would go bad. Let us assume it's fallen to heresy. What then? Do we destroy the entire planet? On Rykat Minoris, you made a decision that sent billions of souls into the grasp of the arch enemy, an unreasonable and unforgettably high price for a small handful of people saved by your mercy. Do I consider it a worthy exchange? I most certainly do not. Will I make every effort to make sure such an exchange does not happen again? Of course I will. Sentimentality is a luxury I cannot afford. Ooh, good question. I do not believe you lack compassion. Or I guess sometimes the good of the Imperium demands we turn a blind eye to the fate of individual servants. I say I do not believe you lack compassion. I haven't said I wouldn't like to be able to afford such luxury. In fact, deep down, I understand why you acted that way. I've yet to eliminate the understanding and acceptance within myself, but I will. Why is your suspicion on Kiava? Disjointed pieces of data. A vessel from that world arrived on footfall. The reports from the crew were confused and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion. Tell me about the Drukari who stole the sun. An ancient and vicious Xenos race, Drukari. These creatures are a living terror to ordinary people who fall prey to their raids. Simple reason that the victims are not killed outright, but become their playthings. Just as you and I need air to survive, the Drukari require psychic energy born from torment and pain. Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought they just liked torturing people for fun. Their ships, which are difficult to mistake for any others, arrive suddenly and undetected. Stealth tech greatly surpasses Sandom Imperium arrays. They're only interested in fresh victims. After filling their holds with living captives, they disappear into the webway to Komoraga, a dark city of the Drukari. Now I can't stop hearing Drukari every time I say Drukari. I do not know why they stole the Rykat's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's prophecy. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played into the archenemy's designs. Or perhaps Aurora's divinations and facts describe their actions. There's only one thing I can say with absolute certainty. There is no alliance between them. It is simply impossible. Let us depart from business matters, Heinrichs. You once promised to entertain me with compelling conversation. Surely this is not what you had in mind. I remember our exchange. For the time being, however, I would prefer to focus on my direct responsibilities. You hear a note of regret in his voice as he shakes his head. Perhaps later, after Kiava Gamma. One of these days I'll get a kiss from you. Just not today. They sound like fun. We should befriend them. I believe we will. I believe that is the plan. I was going to put those dynamo boots on someone. Not on you. Cheap charge. What about Pascal? What are you wearing? 2 or more enemies with a single attack. They don't spend their MP. I I think I might give you dynamo boots instead. The warmonger boots are good for him because he's able to like power hammer dudes and then like get into position, but his movement I find is just abysmal. This also works for the plasma rifle though. Oh, what am I wearing? I don't even have boots. Problem solved. Hey, Abelard, would you like to cleave? Yeah, so nobody has... Oh, wow. Okay, it turns cleave into a thunder slam. Also, holy moly. 17 to 25 damage for a one-handed melee weapon. 35 armor pen. It is a power weapon. If only we had some sort of like sexy, edgy Drukhari assassin that could join our squad. All right. On the road again. Going places that we've never been. We're going to do a little more exploring. Let's travel. I do know that there's a companion that can use those weapons. But I also seem to know that, like, their weapons seem really good for a melee user. So there's a part of me that wonders about setting our boy Abelard up. Okay, so Forgotten Twins and Langren's Belt both had a bunch of stuff. I just don't want to go to Janus yet. That's dangerous to chart. I mean, I can make it safer, but let's do some exploring. The game doesn't seem to be rushing me in any direction right now, so bunch of fuel. A magnetic storm? Is that really a warp run? Spooky. Yeah, you get to zoom through the warp. And you can use like the navigator's powers to like make it safer as well. Magnetic storm raging above the planet blurs the gaze of the augur arrays. Only truly powerful diviner machines may see through the currents of magnetic fluctuations in their blessed vigil and discover the mysteries of the Emperor-forsaken planet. Oh. I guess I'm not allowed here. Dead world? The ruins of an ancient imperial city were discovered on a dead world completely deprived of an ecosystem. According to the reports, the entire settlement is contained in titanic glass dome that once held an artificial atmosphere. Your augurs detected the framework of 3 other similar structures that were never completed. For whatever reason, the systems failed on the dome and left behind a city, a ghost that never managed to become a proper imperial colony. Let's explore the local palace. Ghost sword. An Eldari one-handed power weapon. A lavishly decorated estate of the local ruler's towers over rows of featureless bunkhouses. Several explorers perished from the cleverly hidden tripwires in the courtyard, but after losing their companions, the team easily disarmed the remaining traps. Anything of value was promptly delivered to the rogue trader's vessel. The captain was given an exquisite sword found in a secret cache. +1 profit factor as well. I don't know. Let's gather as many supplies as possible. Why not? Uniforms, ranged weapons, admech, and provisions. Flooded the city like a tidal wave. Filled building after building, bunkhouse after bunkhouse. Plenty of useful things. Explore the temple districts. Holy gifts, 2 trophies. And blessed bolter casing. Temple District is situated at the heart of the city. The God Emperor statue, intricately carved from precious crystal, is suspended beneath the dome, supported by chains of gold seen anywhere in the colony. Inspired by the majestic sight, the expedition members set off to explore the areas with renewed vigor. Soon enough, they stumbled upon an ancient weapon lying on a pedestal, wreathed in sunlight. The expedition brought it back on the ship and told many tales about how the Emperor himself had been watching them from above and directed their attention to the sacred relic. And then drain the fuel. Take several trips to deliver the massive Promethean storage tanks to your vessel. They point out that the colony was running out of fuel. Had their life support systems not failed, the locals still would have perished due to a lack of energy. What a great world that was. No way. Single attacks with bolter weapons automatically hit. That's insanely good. Is she coming back out with me if this is the case? I think she is. Oh, these would also be really good on Heinrichs. Plus 3% dodge for every psyker power used. He's not using a lot of psyker powers, but he does buff everybody up. Oh, you already have Sense Kid. I do want to give you that crit goggle, though, because that's very good on you. You also don't have any boots right now. Put that back on you. Put that on you. Five fellowship, 10 commerce. They have dogmatic. Yeah. Bolter shots automatically hitting is crazy. 2 plasteel, that's not really worth an extractum. A mining world. I mean that they shoot a lot of single time super abilities will get really powerful. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, like, the bolter is typically better off if you burst fire it, but it's still good. It's still good to single fire as well, especially like sometimes you just don't have a good shot. I keep receiving messages about strange behaviors in ship systems. Decks report to be uncontrollably opening and closing. They behave erratically and do not obey operators' commands. This has led to casualties among the crew. The tech priests have explained the phenomenon are being caused by machine spirits' irascibility and have spent hours chatting litanies to soothe their anger. Many crew members were badly injured before the prayers could stabilize the system. Okay. So it doesn't tell me whether or not I've mined the plasteel. Still needs to be a better gun, maybe a heavy bolter, yeah. I mean, we have a heavy bolter in storage, but it's a heretic weapon, so she can't use it. And I don't think she has the strength either. 2 adamantine. Xenotech. And an Augur's Anomaly. 3 Xenotech. Is that enough for my contract? It is. So we're going to start doing shadowy dealing with Tokara, which ups our profit factor some more. Sorry, we have to go get our boots. Is there no way to access the storage here? No, there's not. I'd really like to be able to access ship storage, like this vault, without having to go through 3 loading screens. Okay, she needs boots. I guess it's those. Possible pattern hand flamer. She's got the auto gun in her other hand for burst firing, which I think is fine for now. Oh yeah, how is this sword? 12 to 18. It's okay. It's nothing special. It's good damage. It is good damage. Abelard has chain weapon proficiency right now, so add to cargo, add to cargo, add to cargo, add to cargo. Yeah, heavy bolter, 60 strength, and you need to be a heretic to use this. Yeah. Eight rate of fire, though. Hot damn. That's tasty. That is tasty, tasty. 60 strength minus 25 would be 35 for Argenta. Yeah, but again, heretic 1. That's the real key. I'm okay with Skirby boots on her. The Sororitas boots was what I was originally leaving on her, but I actually think Adira is more likely to get this. I will tell you, because I've been doing this off stream, I built Cassie as like an offensive caster off stream. And her ability to kill like 10 people in one turn, in one spell, is absolutely unparalleled. Like no warp, like negative warp manifestations, gets everybody out of cover, forces enemies to move, and then just does like massive damage to everyone. She is crazy if you make her an offensive caster. It's absolutely ludicrous how good she gets. So real talk, who is not on my squad then? Cassia's not. Fellowship, drop gloves, psi powers, commerce, sniper rifle, that's fine. And Jay is not. When the wearer scores a critical hit with a pistol, the next attack costs 0. Plus 10 dodge cloak. Oh, I might just take that from you. An Eldari chainsword. Well, I'd like Abelard to have that. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. I'll take that off you too. Reduces dodge by 5. Heinrich's, what's your cloak? Enemy attack against demons by 2. Or 10% dodge. I'm going to give you 10% dodge. It's much, much better for you. You are Dodge King right now, so... Oh, yeah, and we got to give him a better pistol. I could take this for the Melta pistol. Pistols, pistols. Improved auto pistol. Precise las pistol is probably the best thing to give him. Or this stub revolver actually is not bad. 10 to 14. Yeah, let's give him this one. We can cargo that. Okay. The next attack with the pistol costs 0. Okay. All right. All right. Let's get the hell out of here, dudes. It's more manageable than I thought. Being heretic is requirement just for that one. Yeah, just for that one, though. Just for that one. Reduce the AP cost of heavy weapons. It's not a heavy weapon. It's just a bolter. I think heavy is its own like classification. Heavy bolters that don't need to be heretic. Yeah. Drusians can sell you a heavy bolter. Okay. Good to know. Augur's Anomaly. A bottomless pit. We probably should do a little talk to see if we can buy any stuff with profit factor, but we'll get there.
The whispers told me how.
Touch the darkness, and the darkness will accept you. Bright daylight cannot pierce the darkness lying over the slopes. The longer you look into its depths, the stronger the feeling grows that the darkness isn't an absence of light. Something immeasurably vast and less capable of reaching into the farthest stars or swallowing a galaxy. Whatever this phenomenon is, there's no warp sorcery within it. Creepy. Grox knows what it is. It's beyond my remit. Stretch your hand into the darkness. At the edge of your consciousness, you sense something slimy and intangible answering your invitation for contact. It seeps into your thoughts, tasting your emotions. Surprise and curiosity envelop you, but these feelings are not your own. All while submit to a foreign entity's will. You're hit by a sudden wave of all-consuming silence. A moment later, the world around you disappears, leaving only black, viscous, boundless darkness. The absoluteness of it is overwhelming, and you slowly sink into the void that's sucking you in. Well, what do you want from me? You find yourself on the floor of an abandoned estate. You feel someone's disgusting presence behind you. A raspy, foul breath tickles your nostrils. A drop of water trickles down from the stone ceiling and shatters the silence with a deafening splash. The heavy door before you is open. You could try to escape. It's now or never. Turn around and fight the creature. You turn around intent on killing the thing with your bare hands, but then exclaim in hesitation. You recognize the disfigured monster that's staring at you. You let out a heavy sigh and a cloud of hot, fetid vapor settles on the smooth surface of the mirror. You sit at the apex of a massive onyx pyramid. Your abilities are limitless. With a single thought, you can raise mountains, drain an ocean, disperse the clouds. But nobody cares anymore. Soon, your brothers and sisters will sacrifice you so they can share your power amongst themselves and guide the civilizations to prosperity. Oh. Kill your brothers and sisters and be the sole ruler of civilization? I mean, that sounds like what I would do. Though I have a much better chance of succeeding on this fellowship test, I'm gonna try to kill my brothers and sisters. As your brothers and sisters surround you, you release your powers and consume every last one of them for 10,000 days, and as many nights you battle their souls until you subdue them completely. Immortal, you remain on the throne for thousands of years, watching your civilization blossom, die, and fade into darkness. You're lying on the burning sand, struggling to open your eyes, but your eyelids feel too heavy. You can barely move your arms and legs. Your stomach hurts, your throat bone dry. Several of your kin, all emaciated, are scattered around you. The hunger is so strong it's driving you mad, and you let out a bestial howl. Something metallic clinks to your right hand. A knife! That's it. You can survive. You must survive. All you need to do is decide whom to sacrifice. A piece of ourselves? Young man wearing a blindfold, the ugly mutant with multiple heads, the brawny woman with bloodied hands. I'm gonna cut off a piece of myself. You bite down on your belt and cut a piece of your own flesh. The pain is so terrible that your vision darkens. Unable to bear it, you let out a frenzied groan, but still shove the slimy scrap into your mouth and swallow it. You could sense the darkness triumphs. It's been following your thoughts with great interest, rummaging in your memories, studying your emotions, savoring your resolve and rage. Why myself? I don't know. It seemed like a crazy thing to do. Its bottomless gut rumbles with satisfaction. At last, grateful, it lets you go and presents a parting reward. What was the parting reward?
Embrace true power.
This explorer tool is blessed with multifunctionality. My success is an irrefutable certainty.
The reward was just a bunch of experience?
How fascinating.
It's weird. My mind is completely empty. Not a whisper, no premonitions, just empty. All right, well, get out of the way. Caved pattern, carved pattern.
That wasn't so difficult.
Covered in countless scratches, you can discern some logic. Someone began by scratching strange symbols and then defaced them, adding extra marks and lines.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
Very good. I guess. Let's go. Error 404, reward not found. I think it was 200 XP, which is like a lot for one thing. Who knows what it was meant to give me? Let's go void battling. Report shows up on the personal cogitator. Unknown ships are towing the interstellar Sextant, a cargo ship belonging to one of Footfall's wealthiest traders. It looks like the pirates have bitten off more than they can chew and have now been forced to drag the ship to a more secluded place they can plunder it. Is this just like pass them by? Oh, okay. Well, that's not fun. I think that was just you have an option to not fight this fight if you don't want to. Versus, yeah, might as well fight it. As soon as they see you, the escort ships charge into battle at once while the captive sextant powers up its warp engines. Unless the rogue trader interrupts preparations for the jump, the cargo ship will forever vanish beyond the veil along with its riches. Well, I want to pirate everything.
Imperiums will hold strong.
160 plus 2, 3 Cobra class. Four Cobra class destroyers, 1 Viper class. Yeesh.
Unleash the storm of macro cannons.
We might have bitten off more than we could chew here. TBD.
Send them into the cold void.
Damn, this thing has got chunky shields too.
Send their souls to the void.
I still need to make sure that I'm alive.
Let destruction pour forth.
Miss! Miss! How dare you, miss?
Macro cannons, annihilate them.
If I hadn't missed, we would have blown that up. All right, let's boost our starboard shields. Why does my position keep getting vacated? Good question. I don't know. Sven, hello. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just doing a little blowing up some spaceships. Little space fighting. I'm going to be honest, while I would like to blow up that Cobra class destroyer, I think that probably not top priority. It's running, so I could get it with the plasma torp. I could also slam this Cobra class though. Great question. Slam the full health ship. Yeah. I think we'll do enough damage to blow up a Cobra class with a full plasma torp barrage. I think. I can ram it.
Eviscerate them.
Is this going to be a bad idea? What if I empower my frontal shields before I ram it?
Beware, Lord
our
Captain.
enemy's defenses.
Our shield is down.
Hell yeah.
Unleash the storm of macro cannons.
That blew up my shield also? We surrender. Flagship weapons have a 10% bonus to hit. Can I not move anymore? I guess I can't because I rammed it. Oh God. Okay. Okay. It counts as a second ship. I hope so. I'd love a second ship in my fleet. That would actually make things a lot easier for me. Ah! Ow. Wow, I got so lucky on shields there that they didn't give me just the tip. Uh-oh. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, ow, 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 ow. What? Why didn't my front shields restart? Oh, Christ. That fires 4 shots. So I can broadside the plasma torpedoes. Okay, something's glitched out and I'm not allowed to move. I have no ship movement whatsoever.
Torpedoes, now!
I guess I can swing run at least. And then I can...
Unleash our wrath upon my enemies.
blow up 2 of those. I could blow up all of those. Fire 2 shots.
Macro cannons, annihilate them.
All right.
Unleash the storm of macro cannons.
I mean, we might have to redo this fight just because I'm getting glitched out here really bad. Unavailable. Well, let's upgrade the port side. Oh, now you're gonna let me move. All right, well, that actually lets me at least do that.
Our enemies.
Those guys are trying to flee. I can probably hit them with another lance and kill them. This is going to blow up on my back, but it's not going to do a lot. One torp down. Okay, not too bad. Ooh. All right, well. If that's the case. Kerblam. Couple options here.
Annihilate them. Send them into the cold void.
Hit them with everything we got. Huh. Let's warp drive them. Here we go. Now they're forced to go the same way I'm going. Kind of. Or at least they're forced to open up their broadside to me. Ow. I gotta stop hanging out next to ships that are about to explode. And these guys are out. That's a good trade.
The Von Valancius dynasty knows no defeat.
Starbreaker lance weapon. Medium range dorsal lance. That does 32 to 40 damage. Okay, so I don't think that actually did give me another ship. I don't think you get a fleet. Clearly, I still stay Supreme Commander because it does show here, and I keep being able to use Swing Rune. Swing Run. Swing Rune. We'll upgrade the scrap. I think I'm going to upgrade that ram a little bit because that actually is pretty good. I got a feeling this lance is going to be like really, really narrow range. But we'll see how she goes. Advanced abilities, ultimate post abilities. Okay. Three of the 4 ships and the lance weapon, I'll count it as a win. We got Xeno ruins. Uniform kits. Add those to cargo. All right. Another sector explored. Expected more from saving a protected merchant ship. Yeah, me too. TBH. Me too. I think I'm going to go to Orsilio's Prophecy. And I'm just going to spend some warp points here. You know what? Let's spend a bunch. This is a huge jump. I hasten to report the disturbing news brought to me by the machine spirits. The matter is extremely delicate and concerns Lady Cassia. Since her first day aboard, her presence has been a disturbance to the crew's way of life. If you allow it, I've prepared a detailed report. Deliver your report. The first incident occurred immediately after our departure from Iraq 5. The Lady Navigator chastised one of the ship's runners, after which he went to his living quarters, killed his family, and then shot himself. The second incident was noted while traversing the warp. Lady Navigator gave the pilots the wrong instructions, and the voidship was thrown off course for a matter of minutes, but enough for the forces of the Imperium to anger the machine spirits and start a fire in the service bay. After that, officers living near the Lady Navigator's quarters began to express extreme emotions, quite detrimental to crew morale and performance. The last incidents were recorded on Footfall. Around 100 living birds were delivered on board during our stay at Footfall. Each bird cost a hefty sum, but I failed to discover their purpose and subsequent fate. Who ordered those birds? What kind of birds? I was also told about a conflict between the Lady Navigator and the Seneschal. With no details, you can ask Abelard. Things are worse with Jay. I intercepted a Vox cache. She promised she would, I quote, end that Kasha if she ever saw her again. The Lady Navigator's state of mind worries me. She's self-contained and does not mesh with the crew at all, which is why everyone avoids her. Even senior officers can be superstitious. I fear that only you are in a position to talk to her on equal footing and improve the situation for the sake of the crew and for Lady Cassia herself. Well, I guess we'll go talk to her. Agri World was a fun planet in the early access. I got no doubt it is. It's just that I wanted to do some of the other planets ahead of time. Which might not be the way it's intended, but, you know, whatever. I want to know if I do the Agri World last, does it also, like, fall apart while I'm not there?
Lord Captain.
Oh, there's a couple things. I've discovered there's caches left by Theodora on Koronus and Kiavagama.
It is wise for a rogue trader to have caches where they can safely store important information. And utterly unwise to share the coordinates of such caches with anyone, even one's most trusted associates. I'm afraid I do not know how to find the caches. but I can offer some help. Your predecessor used this numeric code to deactivate certain defense systems in her service.
Good to know.
If I know Lady Theodora as well as I think, then I'm quite certain that she left her caches well guarded. In that case, this code will be useful to you.
Thank you, Abelard.
Lord Captain.
What happened between you and Cassia?
And who brought this piece of news to you, I wonder? Then again, I have nothing to hide from you.
Quite a scornful snort.
Of late, the helmsmen have been going off course with increasing frequency, and the reports are full of contradicting accounts. The problem continued, even after several demotions were handed out, so I took it upon myself to investigate. I was astonished to learn that our Lady Navigator has been amending entries in the ship's log, and the officers have been keeping silent on her orders. I immediately demanded an end to the outrageous conduct, and I reprimanded Lady Cassia in front of the officers. She greeted my words with silence, and then quickly departed. I should not have acted thus. I never even found out what drove her to do it.
All right. Then also, what is useful to me as a rogue trader?
Noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
No, I don't actually need to know about
wish,
this.
Lord Captain.
I mean, good information, but not something I am overly worried about in this moment. Cassia, where are you? Down here.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
I heard you're not getting along with the crew. Panic flashes in her eyes and her heart starts to beat faster while your hands go cold.
Not here. I'm begging you. Aren't noblemen supposed to discuss such things away from the servants?
All right.
Then lead the way, and I will answer all of your questions.
That was a cool effect. What is it you wanted to talk about? I have nothing to say to your unfounded accusations about my conflicts with the crew. I cannot recall having a single quarrel with any of your people during my entire time aboard. What? Well, what about willfully changing entries in the logbook and forbidding officers from reporting it to Abelard? I've read numerous books on Astri Netaris and can swear on House Orsilio's honor that your officers are entering data in complete contravention of regulation. False terms, random distances between lines, spelling mistakes, and even the simplest of words. I've spent the last few cycles correcting the latest log entries, and I thought it would please Mr. Abelard. He's so fond of order. The Seneschal did not appreciate my efforts and for some reason called them an outrage, even though mere days before he had been swaddling me in warm yellow words. I noticed all your people do this when they're expressing sympathy. I merely wanted to repay the Seneschal with the same courtesy. Would you mind telling me why you needed 100 species of birds? I'm at a loss myself. The day we arrived on Footfall, I sent a request to the quartermaster and asked him to get me a songbird, but he never asked for clarification. Before we left, I had a countless number of cages delivered me, all wrapped in bright red panic, flickering tints of fear. There was a bird in every one. I was so excited I thought I would have 100 friends instead of just one. They were squeaking so piteously I let the poor things out, fed them breakfast and dinner, but the stupid birds would not stop chittering even after bedtime. They were dashing about the room, smacking me in the face with their wings and defecating. I became angry and suddenly they started pecking at each other's eyes and attacking me. Then I became afraid and they fell over dead. I do not think I want to keep pets anymore. During the warp voyage, you gave the wrong orders, which led to the vessel shifting off course. You saw something in the warp, something vast and predatory, shimmering with indescribable colors, came from nowhere and stared at the ship with hundreds of hungry eyes. I decided to change the course while it was still possible, but I didn't want to sow panic. Would it be better to tell the crew we were heading straight into the monster-escaping maw? I had a feeling that these were basically a bunch of, like, people were just assuming certain things. The waifu's strong with this one. She's definitely got some waifu energy. She offered us a romance earlier and we turned it down. And like, I don't know if that was the right choice. All right, the messenger you rebuked butchered his family and killed himself. A kind young man with a shy smile and his skillful fingers with too much rotten ochre on his shoulders. I grew tired of the disgusting color and advised him to lighten his burden by casting the weight off his shoulders. All right, the officers are reluctant to be quartered next to you because of the emotional outbursts. I cannot control my abilities. What else do you want from me? Will I be assigned a pariah chaperone, or will you put me in suppressing shackles? You're a kind soul, but you have difficulty reaching out to people. You've done terrible things, but I would not presume to lecture a person of noble blood. Everyone who has dared to slander you will be punished. There is nothing reprehensible about your actions. Or we could just lock her in the navigator's chamber. That's not going to work. That won't work well. I mean, I could presume to lecture a person of noble blood. I have noble blood. But she definitely hasn't done anything wrong. And I do love punishing people. I turned down Cassia. Yeah, she like hits on you in like the first cutscene when you get on your ship, basically. Teach you the art of communication. No. Kind soul? Difficult. That doesn't sound like us at all. Let's punish people unnecessarily. That's what sows fear and discord amongst our ship. And she's a noble. We gotta back up the other nobles. But you're right, she is also a noble, which means we could mate with her. Very well, since we're done with this misunderstanding, I would like to change the subject. Only fair that I ask you a few questions now, wouldn't it? Do not mistake me. I'm not going to accuse you of anything. It's just that you're the most worthy interlocutor on the entire ship, and you're always so busy. All right, yeah, sure. I read a treatise by Paisius de Mobius, who claimed that subjects would never believe their new ruler was better than the old one unless the old one had been a tyrant. No matter the circumstances, the lowborn rabble become deluded about their prospects and rebel in favor of their base desires. What do you make? Interpretation of this classical text is not entirely correct. If the subjects have grown accustomed to the ruling house, all the sovereign must do is refrain from breaching long-standing traditions, adjust unwanted laws as gradually as you would shift the bed of a flooded river. Loyalty of subjects can be bought at a pittance, lower attacks, throw a festival, feed the needy. A gracious gesture once every cycle will exalt you in the eyes of the rabble. Subjects expect two things from their sovereign: to abuse power and bless their babies. Succeed at both and boring essays become unnecessary. Forgive my temerity, Lady Cassia. I was looking into your eyes and completely forgot your question. I think peasants are stupid and we can trick them is the correct answer here. I was not wrong about your merits or your ability to hold a conversation. I hope my second question does not confound you. According to the 20 tomes penned by the preacher Astiatian Estefan the Forgotten, mercy and cruelty go through the world hand in hand, but people flock only to one pan of the scales. Would you rather inspire fear in your followers or be magnanimous and choose awe? I'm not afraid of acquiring a reputation for ruthlessness. That's probably my answer. Exercise restraint and lenience. One must be a tyrant, a friend, and a jester to subjects. No, yeah. I'm ruthless. There's so much power in your words, power that makes me want to join you. I understand now why your subjects are eager to follow you. I admit I was afraid we were too different, and yet you helped me realize that I can be candid. I sometimes feel the burden. I can hardly bear the burden the house has placed upon me. I feel I'm not doing my best. Tell me how you, heir to the Protectorate, can bear the responsibility for billions of lives day after day and not stoop under the weight. Fox, hello. Come on in, dude. Welcome. Thank you for the raid. How you doing today? Doing a little satisfactory? Nice. I love it. Hope you're vibing well. We're just like cruising through Act 2 right now, mostly doing void stuff and exploring space and talking to our companions. It's been a lot of talking to our companions and holding meetings today. It's been like the theme of the day right now. How can we bear the responsibility for billions of lives day after day and not stoop under the weight? Oh, the inner turmoil is clouding your mind. My Protectorate, my subjects, my titles are mere resources I am solely using for my own ends. Of course. You're helping me see the world in different colors, a novel experience. Our conversations hold a special place in my heart. Allow me to bid you farewell. Farewell and adieu. All right, let's get the heck out of here. Brain is getting ready to be wrecked because nuclear power. Ooh, that sounds fun. Sounds very fun. We're doing well. Vibing, playing a lot of this and playing a lot of War Tales lately. They have been the theme. Okay. Right, we just reached a new system. Orselio's Prophecy. Collect some fart dust. Scan some planets, maybe fight some pirates. Flood victims. It appears that a large voidship recently dumped a huge load of junk and faulty parts from orbit. The debris that didn't burn up in the atmosphere is now blocking the flow of a mighty river. The dam is causing the river to overflow, flooding a nearby valley. A herd of large hoofed rodents are gathered along the riverbanks. If the animals lose their usual habitat, they are doomed. The Lord Captain declares a great hunt. The animals cannot flee and are virtually defenseless. Their valuable meat and pelts will prove quite useful. The animals will have a chance to survive. I mean, yeah, no, let's hunt them. Provisions, uniform kits. The right to take shore leave and partake in the hunt is coveted, a prize many are willing to sell their belongings, make hefty bets in card games, and even fight in improvised tournaments to win it. I'm sure that's like, if you do it, you can probably like mine the animals there. But I don't have any extractorums. And it doesn't really sound like a good idea for me to just be like helping out animals. How are you finding the War Tales expansion? I did about 3 acts in my playthrough, got a solid 60 hours. Yeah, I've done about 3 or 4 acts in War Tales in the past. We're starting up a new campaign. So I haven't gotten to the DLC yet. It's very much an end game DLC. So we're just like not high enough level to take it yet. I did get my pirate ship though, and it seems pretty cool. Reviews are a bit mixed. I think some people wanted it to be something that it's not, but I don't know. So far I'm having fun. I like the stuff that they've added in, the lizards and the pugilist and stuff like that. I just really like War Tales, even the base games. So I could play a lot of that game. It gives me the good brain tickles.
This void ship will not be defeated.
That's a big ship.
There's a breach in our defenses.
This is a very big ship. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. This Starbreaker lance weapon is way better than our old weapon. All right. I'm in a lance. How do I want to do this? I'm going to hit him here because I'm going to try to break his side shield.
Let the incandescent beams scorch our enemies.
He is literally using the same ship as me. I should have dropped my torpedoes ahead of time.
Send their souls to the void.
And I did not.
Eviscerate them.
That's our new lance weapon. This is our better back row weapon as well. Oh yeah, baby. That's good stuff. Nice. I could get right behind it. And I think it probably couldn't catch me. Just in case, I'm going to boost our right shields. Wow, it is a lot more agile than I thought it would be, but that's so good. Plasma torps on the side. Oh! Those did some serious damage. I guess let's just sail around it and open up into that open side with no shielding.
A worthy contribution to Lady Theodora's legacy.
Damn, son. We wrecked that ship. Level 3. Ancient energy cores, ancient machinery, and a handful of scrap. Wow, I thought that was going to go really bad, and we didn't even take any damage. You made the mistake of making your party massive, so combat was taking ages by the end of it. Yeah, that's a bit of a... You got to balance, like, party size. Also, just like big parties eat so much in that game. Read that 6 people with prisoners do the rest is the quickest option. Interesting. I think it depends on how you're playing as well, right? But you're just using, like, prisoners as, like, chaff. That could work. I like having a big squad though, because if they're really good and you're not playing on adaptive, that's the thing. I guess if you're playing on adaptive versus region locked, it's different. New class seemed cool. Guessing people were expecting it to be a new zone that wasn't endgame locked. No, I think so. Just some people are just like unhappy with the way that the zone is done. I saw some complaints about like sailing mechanics and stuff like that, but I don't know. It looks pretty cool so far to me. We haven't gotten too much into it though. Looks like we have quite a few new abilities here. Both of the abilities of a selected post. New heading lets us turn at 90 degrees. That's the +2 range ability that our Psyker uses, the Witch. Reloads all macro cannons that were fired during the acceleration phase. During the acceleration phase, so it has to be very much at the beginning and can only be used during the end phase. Okay. Woof, that could be good though. Overloads the shields to disrupt enemy defenses. If the enemy has shields, they are moved to the opposite side from where the attack hits. If the enemy has a hollow field, it loses several of its charges. The pulse can also negatively impact Xeno technology. It uses 25% of our shields though. I see. Slides to his side. This is the warp jump. A shallow warp jump for 5 cells. And vulnerability scan. The flagship augers scan an enemy ship to highlight its weak points. All damage dealt to a weak point is increased by 30%. Only one weak point can be highlighted at a time. I feel like Expeditious Retreat is very good. But we just replaced one of our macro cannons, so maybe not. I'm gonna take vulnerability scan. And great question. The warp jump, maybe? That's side to side versus that's forward. Yeah, I'm going to take the warp jump. It feels like the kind of thing a heretic ship would use, right? Ship has reached a new level. Yeah, that works. Yeah, and you have torpedo control. I don't understand why it's like she shows this ability and she shows that ability, but that's like the one that I'm using. It's not super duper clear to me. Based on the idea, some of the side classes really give bad stats, so they're bad to take. Stuff you take on strength decks, so your characters pick up on the prisoners if you want them fishing or wood chopping. Oh, for like the professions. Yeah, I don't know. I think you can make it, depending on how you build. I think you can still make it work nowadays, but hyper aggro team, very few tank options with so little folk in the warband. I don't know, man. I love my tanks also in warband, in War Tales. Like, we got a couple big tanky fellas, and they put in some serious work. Promethium. I need an extractum. Can I buy one? Let's go do some trading. Let's go do some rogue trading. You can read what upgraded ship ability they can get in the feats. Oh. Oh, it's just like what they're capable of unlocking after. Ultimate post. Yeah, like I have torpedo control here. But she shows expeditious retreat. Expeditious reload. I guess it's maybe just that because I don't have those like unlocked. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because I have her, I can now unlock expeditious reload. Character feats. Lance reload. Oh! We should have gotten expeditious reload. We should have absolutely gotten that. Shortcut. New heading cooldown is reduced by 1. Reinforced shields has a 50% chance to reinforce 1 additional random void shield. Focused efforts is reduced by 1. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for pointing this out. Guest Pensed. Much appreciated. Torpedo control can be used the same turn a torpedo is launched. Damn. That's pretty good. Enemy void ships suffer warp damage when being jumped through using shallow jump. Oh, I can use shallow jump on enemy ships as well. Oh, that's amazing. Vulnerability scan. The weak side never appears at the opposite side of an enemy void ship. There's an additional 5% damage. She has lance reload and shortcut. Heinrichs has leaking aether. You have high tide. Increases the damage warp wave deals by 10%. And arc artery gains +1 range and lasts for 2 weapon attacks instead of just 1. You get spin around and shortcut. And Pascal. Expeditious reload can be used during the acceleration phase to reload torpedo tubes. And shield pulse gains extra range. Additionally, it does not expend the flagship's shields. Okay. I am assuming that this also affects things like my ability to hit, the strength of my shields, etc., etc. Yeah, those are some bad skills then. Avel. Avel. At least we know what to move towards going forward. A lot of fun Phalanx style spear bros adding in extra attacks. Yeah, we got farmers in Wartales, and there are a lot of spear bros right now. Have you ever heard of the Fiery Reckoning? House von Valancius did sign a contract with the owners of a vessel, the Fiery Reckoning, picking up cargo from Kieva Gamma. The ship had interactions with the workshops on the industrial world. All right. Let's do some shopping. Intoxicating elixirs. 15 strength, 15 weapon skill, minus 20 willpower. A bayonet knife. When the wielder attacks with a ranged weapon in 1 cell range, they also inflict bleeding. Monofilament grenades. Huge grenades. And pirate chainmail. Ooh, I might wear that myself. Wow, that's really good. Can move without provoking attacks of opportunity. Visible pattern auto pistol. Staff of endless flame. Yeah, I'd like that. I don't really think I need this Mesoa pattern auto pistol. It's okay. I could put it on Heinrich, but you guys only accept void trophies. And nobody else accepts these. But that's not going to do anything for me, so I'll just hold on to them for now. Casabelica has Eldari plasma grenades. And a bunch of stuff I don't have the profit factor to touch. Telepath staff could be nice. My question is who has extractors? You do. But I need more profit factor to get them. Damn. Damn. Sanctic staff. A power claymore. Wow, okay. Ah, there's the heavy bolter. The non-heretic heavy bolter. When this wearer hits an enemy in melee range, the wearer nearest ally gains willpower plus fell bonus temporary wounds. That's tasty. You love holy gifts? I'd like to read more about what this Sanctic staff does. And whether or not it would be good on Heinrich. Yeah, I really actually just need profit factor right now if that's the case. Casabelica obviously has loads of very nice stuff. Warp guides, self-guided storm bolters. Xenomesh. Ultimately, their best thing is like a navigator staff. Staff of endless flame, needle pistols, swashbuckler's coats, splinter pistols, grimoire of the void. A one-handed chain axe. Each successful hit increases critical damage by 25% until the end of combat. Wow, this is really good. If an ally under the effect of the wearer's Bring It Down ability successfully hits an enemy with an attack or targets them with an ability, the wearer gains +1 fellowship and willpower until the end of combat for each enemy hit. So you could just use like Bring It Down on Argenta and have her burst fire into a crowd and gain a crazy amount of stuff. Noted. All right, well, I decided the fellowship is kind of who I'm going in the most with right now. So if I got any heretical bric-a-brac, which I don't really, I mostly appear to just have fuel. Fuel, weapons, and miscellaneous. You only accept that stuff. Casabellica also wants Heretic and Xeno trophies. They don't accept armor kits. They do accept uniform kits. You also accept holy gifts. Damn. Mechanica stuff is the best value here. I could only really level you up well with holy gifts. That's the only thing you really want, Drusians. And I need to give you a lot of stuff to get you there. Well, I might as well do that. And I might as well... What do I need here? I only need 400. So why don't we just give these guys like some fuel? And ultimately, yeah, I need to get more profit factor to be able to get more extractors. If I had an extractor, I could collect this Promethium and get more profit factor and get more extractors. In order to do that, I would need to go back to either here or here where there's plasteel and adamantine in like small capacities. Ah, dude, I really wish this would like tell you how much was actually there. Adurmat, Agathis Achilles, the Pillar of Verdus. There's Dargonus, Mundus Valancius, so that's the way I wanted to go. Why don't we see if we can like start sneaking our way that way? We'll have to just come back here and get the Promethium another time. I bring dire news. A feud has broken out between the clans that maintain the Void Shield arrays. Rumor has it the Lady Theodora was seen on the lower decks, and one of the families called for rebellion against the usurper of the Void Ship. So far, no one believes their mad tale, but unrest has begun. The ship's enforcers are ready to eliminate the instigating clan or pacify the entire Void Shield crew. What's the story? Rumors of her presence have been circulating for a long time and appear to be deliberate provocation rather than ordinary drunken ramblings. Someone is intentionally stirring up the masses to rebel, or perhaps it's the influence of the warp. Enforcers are already investigating, but now we need to stop the conflict from escalating. As long as the unrest continues, the void ship shields will not be operating at full capacity. Pacify the entire Void Shield crew. I rule with an iron fist that just murders indiscriminately. Enemies of humanity. chaos ships, maybe? Phlogiston. Rare and priceless crystals born within flaming magma under immense pressure. Energy potential is tremendous and fully justifies the cost of harvesting them, measured in the lives of miners killed by the irradiation. Noted. Yeah, I guess we gotta like go back and pick up those extractors is what we have to do. 6 promethium. Well, that's even better. I guess the only risk in like going back is I have to take void paths. Sneak, sneak, sneak. I'm assuming my void shields are fixed now that we murdered everybody. A wave of angry whispers passes over the bridge as the arch enemy's minions train their weapons on you and prepare to attack. I mean, I could flee, but why would I, right? I want combat experience. That's what I'm here for.
I can see crimson lights in the void.
Am I? I'm up against a murder class cruiser. And a couple infidel class raiders. I might have got myself killed here. Vulnerability scan. It is vulnerable in the back? I'm assuming that's what that means. Well, I could... Can only be used during the acceleration phase.
Steer us to our target.
This feels a little bit crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I obviously can't hit it with most things now. It's still on the side shields.
Let destruction pour forth. Let the incandescent beams scorch our enemies. Torpedoes, now!
I think maybe I've made a bad idea. We're going to power the front shields. And let's see how that plays out. Just need to flip it. Why not use the weapons before I turn? Because I was trying to hit its back point. I thought I could maybe just sneak in there. Ooh, melted tubes.
Our shields fail us.
Well, I clearly enforced the wrong section there. This will also blow up those torpedoes. Or it won't. He didn't move? That's rude. Okay. Can I... What is going on here? Ship suffers damage each round. Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Unleash the storm of microcannons.
It is their weak point.
Eviscerate them.
Though I'm not really sure that's gonna matter. I might as well figure out their weak point as well. Huh.
Lest the incandescent beam scorch our enemies.
This doesn't feel like a great plan at the moment.
Chart a course.
If I'm gonna be honest with us. I am concerned for our well-being. Those melted torpedoes.
The vessel begs for our aid.
Yeah. The lance kill. I had a funny feeling. I think we can win this. We just got to play it a little bit better. If I had gotten behind it that first round like I had hoped, like I thought we might, it would have been a bit of a different story. How is that still seriously giving me that? Like, how is that hitting the side and not the back? Literally, it only covers the side shields.
Steer us to our target.
I feel that this is not being truthful. Man.
Eviscerate them. Let the incandescent beam scorch our enemies. Send their souls to the void.
We're going to try them again. So if it hits me, is it going to be hitting the front or is it going to be hitting those side pieces? I guess it depends. It could just come up on me and probably blast the side. I'm going to try the front. Goes from the center of your ship. Well, that guy's in ramming distance. I'm on fire. Steer into the abyss.
Lost the shield, Let us not lose our zeal.
And of course, he landed all of those on my backside. On my open side instead of the side I reinforced. That's still the side shield it's telling me? Target must be at least 2 cells away, which it's not if I go there.
Chart a course.
We are vulnerable.
That does so much
Let
damage.
destruction pour forth.
It's crazy how much damage that does. I probably should blow up these torpedoes instead of this guy. If I'm being real.
Eviscerate them.
But I also has this weak point here.
Unleash the storm of macro cannons.
All right, well, that'll help a little bit. Let's go with our left shields. Does this even work if I don't have shields? I guess we'll find out. At least this guy and that guy's pretty far away from me. Probably far enough away that they can't do anything.
We need to turn the tide.
That first shot did 53 damage, and then the next one did like 34. I think the first one crit me. Okay. I mean, I might also just not be able to fight these guys. Oh my god, I'm going to be out of range even if I warp forward. I think I just whiffed this already. Yeah, for sure we did. I thought I could just like blow this guy up before we engaged in combat with the rest of them.
Let destruction pour forth.
Obviously I'm wrong.
Let the incandescent beam scorch our enemies.
Torpedo tube seems like they're more danger than they are good. It's a little bit hard to say, but get to the back, it should have no return fire. Okay, okay. With shields on the proper side, yeah. Miss. Oh, that was good. Okay. Okay. I have a handful of options here. If I go behind it, that's one shot. Of course, I don't even have the good macro cannon pointed out. Front one says you won't get them on the cruiser this turn. Yeah, I was thinking lance this guy, then Starbreaker this guy. And macro battery him. But I don't think I'm going to get in range of those melted torpedoes. I think I'm just going to eat those. 26 HP. I mean, that's a lot. I could lance him. I could Starbreaker him, portside him, lance him, and starboard him in the back, and then just eat the melted torpedoes. I actually think that's probably the play. %90 chance.
Send them into the void. Unleash the storm of macro cannons.
All right, well.
Let the Imperium
At least we got a bit of
guide us.
damage. Sharp turn. We don't have sharp turn, we have swing run.
Macro cannons, annihilate them. Let the incandescent beams scorch our enemies.
I can warp wave him. It won't kill him, but it would do damage. I could warp wave him and kill him, but I feel like he's got one fighter. He's probably not going to do that much. That really did not work like I hoped it would. Immediately turn 45 or 90 degrees, depending on their maneuverability. I can't boost my left shield, so we might as well go front. If I'm here, am I more likely to get hit in the nose? I feel like maybe.
Chart a course.
Shouldn't have any return fire. Shields will be restored at the start of the flagship's next turn. Rerouting the power of the shields reduces the flagship's speed and firing range. I think that's fine. We're behind it. I don't really need to move fast. Oh my god, that's incredible. If I could blow those up. If that doesn't move and I can blow those up. I mean, at least I got shields back there. That was my front shields.
One more hit, and we are finished.
All right, well, we're dead because I can't possibly stop 3 stacks of internal fire. Even min-roll, I lose that. For the 3 cell, we should be in a blind spot. I mean, all my shields are back up, but but I can't even hit it with a lance weapon, can I? No, sir.
Torpedoes, now! Unleash the storm of micro cannons.
That hits its front. That hits its side, I mean. Well, shoot.
Eviscerate them.
There's nothing I can really do here, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, I need to end in one of those cells as well. Oh, that's fantastic. Great. Why does it not have to move, but I have to move? That doesn't seem fair. Whoop. Watch as I explode from being on fire. Probably moves every other turn. I don't think we've seen it move at all. That didn't kill me? I'm very confused. Oh, okay. I still died from fire. I think we let these heretics go. I don't know about you guys. I think maybe these heretics can live to fight another day, if you know what I mean. It's weaker at a distance. I think it's because it hit my shields. Full cruiser is a bit much for right now. Yeah. Mundus Nullus Moro. I don't have a path down there. I do have a path to Dargonus. Though it is dangerous. I could make it safe. And which I think I will. Because I'm realizing, like, By making some of these pathways safer, it does make it easier for me to get around. Like if I have when I have to go back this way. We've received word there's a sighting on the lower decks of Lady Theodora. Messages we've received are incomplete and vague, more yelling than hysterical claims. Reports of casualties and unrest. The compartment in question has been sealed off, but I thought you might want to look at what's going on for yourself. There are mentions of Idira Tlass being present at the scene. What is she doing there? She broke her micro bead, so I wasn't able to find out anything, but she's a psyker and we're in the warp. You're not the only one who would risk sitting. You are the only one who would risk setting foot in that compartment. If you do not, we will never see Idira again. All right. Well, I guess we're going in. Mundus Valencius should be our home base. I mean, this place that we're going, Dalgona or whatever, is the administrative part of our capital. Ah, we get our heroic act. Orchestrated firestorm. We select a 3x3 zone on the battlefield. All allies, including the master tactician that have line of sight, make an attack against a random enemy in this zone that they can target. Okay. Pascal, you get take and hold. Chooses one combat tactics area. Every ally inside that area gains an additional turn with 1 AP and 2 MP at the start of the next turn. For every enemy that was killed in that area, the additional AP is increased up to 3 and MP is increased up to 6. Abelard, Unyielding Guard. Until the next turn, the Vanguard attacks each enemy that attacks the Vanguard's allies in a 3-cell radius around the Vanguard. Additionally, until the next turn, the Vanguard always retaliates when attacked. A 3-cell radius. Does he like run over to them and attack them? Our assassin gets dispatch, makes an attack with the current weapon against an enemy, cannot miss, deals 50% more damage. Also deals additional damage equal to 25% of the missing wounds. Dodge reduction, armor pen, and parry are doubled for this attack. So it's like a finisher. You get steady superiority. Till the end of combat, you can make 1 additional attack each turn. The first attack after using this ability and each turn afterwards costs 0 AP. Wow, that's crazy. I like that. And take and hold.
Intriguing.
Everything appears to be working. The breath of the Imperium. Who deigns to grace us with their presence? Another gaggle of heretics and traitors thirsting to get their due for what they've done? Or is it the leader himself who's finally grown tired of hiding behind others? Theodora is before us and looks grotesque. A hole yawns wide in her chest, rusted hooks protrude beneath her skin, and a lumped, inflamed scar across her throat. The figure flickers as if though dropping in and out of this reality. She looks at you and smiles venomously. We meet at last. I've grown tired of waiting for you to pay me a visit. Indeed, centuries of selfless toil and effort and everything I left behind has gone to this non-entity. Warp illusion be gone. Argenta, my dear, there's no need to make a fuss. Why don't we sit down over a cup of recaf like we used to? I'll listen to your rapturous tales and sacred relics, portents, your special path. Things must have been lonely without me here. No one willing to listen to your ravings or help you with your childish treasure hunt. Delicious recaf. I've always just heard it called calf in Warhammer. I've never heard recaf. Throne, spare us from accursed apparitions of the arch enemy. Is that what you're praying for? I can hear how fast your heart is pounding. I think deep down you hope this apparition never ends. Oh, we met already. It was I who gave the order to bring you here to my ship. How I rue that decision now, how I regret heeding the advice of my seneschal. How could this be? It's the same vision on the officer's deck and yet entirely different. Why does it not remember that meeting, and why does it remember what the real Lady Theodora did? My glorious voyage through life was ended in the dullest possible way, by death. A nuisance I staved off as long as I could. But do not weep for me, my boy. I am still keeping an eye on my property and punishing those who failed me. Where is Adira? All I did was turn that little mutt from the fringes into a true servant of the Imperium. I gave her toys, I cleaned up after her antics, I provided her with everything she could dream of. I had great plans for poor little Adira. Well, what do you want with me? Matters are so dire that the pleas of one of my servants breached death's veil to reach my ears. How could I ignore such a desperate cry for help and reach my little Idra no less? And once I appeared here, of course I had to meet the pretender who had allowed this deplorable state of affairs. You're not Theodora. Theodora's dead. I'm no different from those who have not crossed the divide between reality and eternity. I see, I speak, I remember the wrongs you committed against me and those who failed me. I truly am Theodora, the remnant of herself that she left behind in this world, an echo of her memories preserved in the minds who cared for her. The taste of tears spilt for the unsaid and the undone. The terror of she who failed to turn the tide of fate and who refused to look truth in the face. I'm as real as the human passions that bring worlds to ruin. All right, well, who actually killed you then? Wouldn't you like to know the answer to that question? Yes, I would. I don't even know which would be more satisfying, to give you an honest answer or leave you to languish in your ignorance. Rogue traders never say sorry. We'll send you back to the abyss. You, of all the people to threaten me, you're the most pathetic. All you possess now is given to you in error. You're unworthy of such a generous gift. I am here to seek retribution against all who failed me. My brainless crew, my useless officers, my pathetic servants who turned their backs on their mistress in her darkest hour. And worst of all, you, my dear heir. You who have undeservedly claimed the warrant and everything else that is mine. I will drag it into the warp, including you.
I've read about this.
Hideously mutilated, flesh seems to have been melted at the edges, thickly coating in a stinking mucus.
I'm still new to the art of exploring.
Goods. Loot on my own ship. Someone tried to break their way out. Labored, stuttered growls, periodic rattling.
Let's seize the opportunity.
A couple of workers down here. Surely this isn't going to go bad. Only darkness can be seen in the open breach of the macro cannon. These are macro cannon shells? God damn, they're huge.
I tread a path unexplored.
Where is she? I clearly remember her being around here somewhere. Hence the word macro. Yeah, I suppose. Good point. Good point. Touche.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
I don't like all these explosive barrels I'm standing next to. There you are, my little coward. Why won't you look at your captain? It's wrong. It's all wrong. Ah, just hit her with that warp lightning. Little Adira utterly trapped in her visions. I wonder if this is because, like, I didn't talk to Adira at all yet. I will allay your doubts. Lord Captain, she turns her head to you, but her demented gaze rests briefly on the face before sliding away. You can see the base of one of her temple implants is blackened and melted. Lord Captain, Lady Von Valancius, you came back. Tears streamed down her face. Poor little Adira. There. How could I not come? You were crying for me so desperately. Your pleas carried the very depths of the warp itself. Why didn't you save me? Why didn't you warn me? Answer me, you insignificant wretch, or I'll drag the answer out of you myself. Her fingers dig into her scalp, meeting no resistance. Adira lets out a soul-chilling howl and tries to grab the hand tearing into her, but her fingers pass through the monster's flesh. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything that could have done with you. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I failed. 13 damage. Argenta wordlessly swings her weapon up and aims it at Adira, who is struggling in the monster's hold. Let her shoot her. No way, Argenta. Stop that. She wrinkles her nose at the shouted command and lowers her weapon, but does not put it away. Adira, snap out of it or I'll shoot you myself. Lord Captain, help me. Damn it. Chaos will devour you. It will devour everyone responsible for my death. Die, die for the delegation of my lord. Her body begins to change, losing its human shape. A pink horror? And some blue horrors. Warp Beast. Homie, that's a pink horror is what that is. Boons of Zinj. Sorcerer randomly grants a creature one of Zinj's gifts. Interesting. Interesting. Well, Abelard. I should probably kill the Warp Beast with you. Pascal goes first. I feel like he could dunk one of these workers. Mutant Bomber. Oh, I'm like surrounded here. No way that dude's gonna stay there. Let's have Abelard tank the chaff. Ooh, I mean... It looks like I get Adira here as well. So I'm just going to set up a couple of zones and do some donking. Dodge. Dodge. Dodge is not what I wanted in this fight. Let me tell you. Is the hammer double damage when using pushing attacks? Yeah, I guess so. It says 15 to 20 damage now. We'll try that on the next turn. All right. I can't really reach anybody good with her. Target is too far, which means he is also too far. And somehow I don't have line of sight to you. All right. I'm going to do that instead. His 95s are a pretty good chance. I don't know why it's such a good shot, but I will take it. Wicked Bond. What does that do? Ow. Nice. Ow. Warp shield. Wicked Bond gave him a warp shield. For sure is all it is. Blinding grenades. Okay, so these are still like humans. Or mutants, I guess. Blinded. Oof. Okay. I mean, doesn't hit very well, but hits well enough. We can make one additional attack each turn if we use this ability. The turn the heroic act was used and every turn afterwards. Kind of like to hit that barrel. At the same time, I think we also do a lot of good damage to demons. That'll hit Adira because it'll pierce through her. Man, I mean, we could just give a bunch of these workers. Just feel like these guys are the greater threat. I'm going to use this. And then I'm going to boost from hitting a bunch of different people, which feels like the right idea. She's using a med kit. Forewarning. Analyze. Hunt down. Hunt down. Hunt down. All right. It's not a bad play. I can get behind those decisions. Heinrichs. His opening is here. What if I Iron Arm, Psychic Force, aim for the opening Death Whisper? Two to 3 damage. Oh, he's got a warp shield up. Hemorrhage stack, at least. I could break through, or I could endure. Which is probably the better choice. Endure, and I think I'll hit Word of the Emperor. Bunch of extra resolve for literally the entire party. I'm okay with that. Parliamentum. You serve me. Heinrich. You try taking another attack on that dweeb. You know what? I really should have done that with Abelard. But what's done is done. It does look like that warp shield is down. That's got a pretty low choice, so why don't we just let you yonk this? This guy has no opening right now, which just got me confused. He has hemorrhaging. Hunt down the prey. Inspiring trophy. Oh, no, he does have warp shield still. So this is a big dumb waste of time then. Still doing damage, just not really as much as I had hoped here. Oh, so this is really nice. He gets a free Death Whisper every single time. I actually should have aimed for the opening, attacked, and then Death Whispered, but whatever. What's done is done. I'm okay with that. Lock, hello. Oh, boo. Boo words. Try to taunt these guys in here. Right, and so the thought here was I could maybe shove this guy. Oh yeah, that does a ton of damage. And pushes him out of the stink cloud. So Cassia can probably line up the kill on him right now. Let's do something like that. It'll kill zone up here, even though I don't think it's necessarily going to work right away. Every ally in this area gains an additional turn with 1 AP, 2 MP at the start of the Grand Strategist's next turn. For every enemy that was killed in the area, everything increases. No, but I am going to move the rare back to there. Let's do this. I mean, that has a 5% chance of missing. That looks like it'll explode. It will explode. Oh, yeah. And she gets a free attack every turn right now. Which I forgot about. Cool. Oh! Well, I guess I should have used that on him. Parry, counterattack. Just basically what I'm just using Abelard for. This guy will parry, counterattack. Nice. This guy, grenades. Okay. He killed that guy, his own buddy, with a force grenade, so that worked out favorably. I mean, part of me is like, what if I just went here? And unloaded into that warp beast. I don't actually have enough ammo on that gun to really do it properly. Do I have a run and gun? I don't. You know what? I'm going to put her back here instead. Ah. Useless. Revel in slaughter. Oh, now she's got a run and gun.
I'll do it.
Fine. I'll take it. She does love shooting demons. Shooting down heresy. All right, Adira. Medkits again on herself. Casts forewarning. I don't know on who. Analyzes. Uses a heroic act. Wow, she actually used my heroic act. That's brutal. I don't love that. This guy no longer has protection, though. So that's your weak spot. I could break through and then stab him on the other side. Or I could aim for the opening and stab him on the other side. I guess breakthrough makes more sense. It does give me the extra attack. Big Turk is stunned. Big A is not. Oh, this guy's tough. Target is too close.
Follow my lead.
We'll go with a reckless strike. Guarantee the kill. And then we just endure because we're out of cover. Hopple deppum. What do you have? A plasma gun. %38% chance of hitting with it. That's really bad. So, wing and a miss. I'm going to expose him. I'm going to analyze him. And I'm going to put another kill zone here because that should trigger on him. In fact... I'm gonna give him a finest hour. Why do you not have a target? That kills him. Earth protests. Perils of the warp. What was that? Heinrich's caused psychic phenomenon. Earth protests. Dealt 1 damage to Adira. Agility group resistance test required. A bunch of Russian. Oh, right. And then he blew horror, did he? Well, that ain't the best for us. I guess I should have foreseen this coming. Knowing that it was coming. Revel and Slaughter gives you run and gun back and removes the debuff. Oh. I did not realize that. Heinrichs, stab him again. you, dear, would you? And stab him ever so gently. I guess let's go. Range damage here, maybe. Give him some temp HP as well. He's already got temp HP. I don't know why I did that. Good, more blinding grenades. Just what I wanted. 38. 95, but I hit Adira. $95, but I don't hit Adira. And I knock him prone, which is a nice little perk. All right, I'm happy with that. Wow. Good job, Adira. Thank you for poisoning Heinrich. I can't even see. Okay, the his weak point is here. Wow, okay, rude. I said that would kill you. I don't know, I guess I'm being poisoned? Shadows start to bleed. Probably don't use psychic powers if I don't have to. Might be a thought. Wow, my Melta Beam has just terrible, terrible shots. Argenta can at least hit this guy. For quite a bit. 60% and 6 shots. Feels pretty strong. Yeah. That works for me.
Doubt is weak. Faith without deeds is worthless.
And then we just got to chase down this one guy down here, which shouldn't hopefully be too bad. Can we? Man, so close.
I will. It will be done.
Come get some. Come get parried. I might as well brace for impact as well. It's the end of the turn, so. Plasma beamed. Sniper shot. Whew. Lord Captain, is it really you? Argenta trains her weapons on Adira and watches closely. Sister Argenta, do your duty. The Abomination claims that you called her. Is this true? I think it was me who called her. I can barely remember the voices. My God. My old good whispers. They suddenly turned red, sharp, started cutting, tearing, ripping me to pieces. I cried out, called for help, and she came. Why are the vases making so much noise? Shut up, shut up. Has anything like this happened to you before? Like this? Never. Something, but it was different. It wasn't as strong or as terrifying. Apparitions appeared, mechanisms malfunctioned, the crew lost their mind. But Lady Von Valancius knew about that. She said it was a small price to pay, an acceptable expense. No psyker is immune to it, but what happened here was a mistake. I won't do it again. There will be no more mistakes. This is not the first time this heretic has caused the death of her crew. Do you remember the incident on the mid-deck? What did those honest souls do to deserve such a fate? To be turned into mutants and attack their own families? You're a monster, a heretic. If you have any humanity left in you, admit what you were. Shut up. Quit your preaching. You're the worst out of everyone. Sometimes the Psyker's first manifestation leads to the death of many others, but if a Psyker possesses inordinate willpower and discipline, they can stave off their fall for some time. Adira has been alive many years already, a laudable achievement and a stroke of incredibly good fortune, but the forces of the warp will ultimately devour any Psyker deprived of the Emperor's protection. The fact that these manifestations are growing more powerful is a clear sign that the end is near. She did it a couple of times when she had too much to drink she thought she heard her voice among the whispers in her head. The voice was so sad, so clear, I couldn't help myself. I answered. I hoped I could reach her. Ever since she died, since I first heard her voice in my head, the whispers have gotten louder. You hear the warp whispers in your head and you answered. Are you insane? You don't know what it's like. The most important person in your life who's now gone forever suddenly starts talking inside your head. How could I not reach out? I had to. I know what you're thinking. During the warp jump when Lady Theodora came out towards us, I kept thinking about that meeting. I kept blaming myself. Why didn't I define it? Why didn't I stop her, kill her? These thoughts have been playing at the back of my mind day after day, choking me with guilt. And do you know what? The one on the officer's desk? I don't know what that was, but this time here, this was the product of my guilt. An accuser straight out of my own mind. Out the airlock you go. No. I know after everything I've done, you have no faith in my willpower or strength, but I can fix everything. It's just I'm not at my best. To replace my implants or some other remedy, a better one. Lady Von Valancius says such a thing could be found, if not here, then elsewhere. I just didn't need it before, but we need to find it. I need to figure out where to look for it and get it. And until then, I'll keep myself on a tight leash. What will happen to my crew while we look for this remedy? I'll pull myself together. The death of Lady Von Valancius knocked me for 6. No more booze, no more obscura, nothing. I'll stop walking the lower decks. I'll be stone cold sober. I want to help you, Adira. My good little heretic. You're making a mistake, Lord Captain. Perhaps you'll find something to slow the decline, but I won't stop it. Only a miracle can save her. I think I'd better with your permission, Lord Captain. She takes a step back and faints. Maybe from the poison gas grenade you threw at yourself. Lord Captain, I've received a report that the shooting on the lower deck has stopped, says Voxmaster Vigdus. Awaiting further instructions. Dispatch servitors and put her through an airlock. Oh, wow. I got rid of the warp solutions. Adira's alive. Bring her to the Trojans and have her seen to. Wow, you can actually just yeet her out the airlock. That's amazing. There's a few things still here. Including a box full of goodies. Battle Psyker Boots. The wearer gains perception bonus dodge until the start of their next turn for each enemy affected by their psi power or psychic staff attacks. And warp conductor gloves. After triggering a psychic phenomenon or perils, their psi rating is increased by 1 and they gain momentum and temp wounds equal to the resolved. Can only be equipped by Adira. Well, she's obviously getting both of those things. I love that when you do the quests, you just like get stuff that's really good for them. Homie's just full of grenades. Absolutely megany with grenades. All right. Well, at least we know what's going on with all that psychic bric-a-brac. Don't got to worry about that for a while. Maybe we'll stop getting interrupted every single time we warp jump. Maybe, but no promises. Yeah, you're for sure wearing those. Perception bonus, dodge until the starter. Yeah, these are great. Great items for you. So, I could give you back the sororitas boots. Five enemies in a row in one turn is just so unlikely to trigger. Currently. Oh yeah. Pirate chainmail. Ooh, that's a bit of a better look for us. $45. What are you wearing? 35. But that's really like 40 and plus 10 parry. Oh, but that's like 55 because against melee attacks. It just looks so dumb. And this looks so good on him. I think I gotta go fashion. Fashion first. Add to cargo. Add to cargo. Wield attacks with a ranged weapon at 1 cell range. That target also inflicts bleeding. Oh, it's equipped in a additional accessory slot. All right. All right, we'll give it a try. Give you some bonus stuff. Probably should be giving you like better grenades than that, actually. Blinding grenade. Eldari plasma grenades? Sure. It's a little heretical, actually, maybe. Let's just give you a fire grenade with that. And Adira's gotten a level up, which I'm very happy for. Picking up Wild Hunt. Simultaneously makes several attacks. The number of attacks is equal to the number of prey in combat. These attacks are equally divided among all prey's line of sight. Attack always hits and always scores critical hits. Now, if the only weapon you have is a lightning staff, does that mean you can fire 3 lightning in 1 turn? I'd be very curious to know. Mundus Valancius. I mean, out of curiosity. Litaborium Maledicta. Mundus Nullius. Okay, so great. We can start coming down this way after. But this lets us do the capital planet first, which is what I was hoping for. Lord Captain Master Helmsman on the line. I can report that the quest for the capital world of the Von Valancius dynasty is finally at an end. Dargonus is straight ahead. We've received countless reports and greetings. Your subjects would like to know when you will be arriving. Merchant captains taking refuge in orbital docks of Dargonus race to send you priceless welcoming gifts, hoping to buy your favor and make an impression. Tell them rogue traders coming home. Lord Captain, I'm pleased to accompany you during your visit to Dargonus so I can personally introduce Achilles Schlander, a servant to the Golden Throne who previously attended Lady Theodora on Dargonus. I am counting on your benevolence. Ooh, AdMech ship too. Staff had its own heroic ability. Oh, yeah. Phlogiston. I mean, the original Psyker Staff doesn't have the heroic ability. It's possible the molten rock of this mantle poured out of consequences with a natural cataclysm or a collision with a celestial body. Thank you, Pascal. Transport shuttle bearing the markings of Adeptus Mechanicus is approaching the ship. Magos Tarzus' delegation intends to board our ship and gain an audience. This is exactly how he phrased it. He intends, not humbly requests. Many of my tech comrades neglect diplomacy when interacting with the laity. It is regrettable. Punish them for their disrespect by letting them dock at the farthest and most dilapidated air dock so that it takes them an eternity to traverse the ship. Well, actually, what do they want first? They've ignored our requests. Such arrogance is hardly trivial. Requesting permission to be present at the audience granted to my tech comrades. Yes, Pascal. Am I being attacked by Admech? Possibly for stealing the giant motive force engine? The super conductor from the planet? Or maybe I will be rewarded. Oh, Opticon 22 is the guy we can trade with in the past. Why am I going down all the way? Oh, no, this is... I see. This is the Hall of Trophies. A group dressed in the scarlet of the priesthood of Mars walks towards you. Gaze is fixed on Pascal. The group is not monolithic. Some of its members are heavily armed and follow the large tech priests clad in battle armor. Others are keeping a respectful distance and casting quizzical looks. Despite the hood hiding his face, you recognize him as Opticon 22, who you met on Footfall. Okay, I was right. The enormous tech priest points at his hands at Pascal and lets out a booming roar, not unlike a factory alarm. It makes your very bones vibrate. Servo skulls follow in his wake, marked with the emblem of the cog. They blare shrilly. Thou shalt not suffer a heretic in thy forge, for rust beget rust. Pascal Howman, and in the name of the Adeptus Mechanicus, you are under arrest. Diplomacy mode engaged. Announcement. The Adeptus Mechanicus offer their apologies / would like to inform you of the necessity of conducting an operation to detain / arrest / terminate a faulty unit on the rogue trader's territory. You identify the rear armor of the enormous tech priest as a secutor's plated mechanized suit. It carries the imprints of many battles and has markings that announce its status as a relic. Some of the armor's damage looks fairly severe to the point of endangering its operation. Sounds like the kind of guy I should kill and take his armor. Scraps of flesh show under the steel have terrible chemical burns on them. Every now and then, convulsions shake the body, and a painful sounding hiss comes from his vox. Who dares arrive on my ship uninvited? Asking for trouble, are you, cogs? Conflict of authority detected. Official message. The Adeptus Mechanicus are aware of / respect / recognize your right of ownership of this property and declare no intent of committing an act of aggression. This is an operation to detain / arrest / terminate a faulty Adeptus Mechanicus unit, the fugitive falsely identifying as Pascal Hauman. Hanauman. I'm never going to just pronounce it right. This heretic, tech priest who has renounced the dogmas of the cult Mechanicus in favor of delving into forbidden chaos-tainted technologies, sounds like the kind of guy I gotta protect, is accused of stealing personal identification codes, spreading tech heresy on the world of Kiava Gamma, and an attempt at the life of a servant of the Omnisaya. The faulty unit will be removed in the name of the Omnisaya. J'accuse. You are malfunctioning, tech comrade. I deem your logical conclusions questionable. Excellent. The statement is false. Tech Brother Tarsus Howmanin is willingly undergoing holy/torment/deterioration, which however does not affect/does not critically affect/ his cognitive capacity for data analysis. Unit calling himself Pascal Howmanin. We have information that implicates you. Having learned that you are a member of the retinue / a maintenance specialist in the service of / of rogue trader Von Valancius, we have headed here with the goal of meeting you / intercepting you / engaging you in combat. Does the big fellow have to roar? What's happening on Kiava Gamma? The planet belongs to me. According to Vox interception data, the planet fabricator sensor made incorrect / blasphemous modifications to manufacturer working procedures, which qualifies as a lapse into profanity. The AdMech are hereby officially notifying House Von Valancius of having commenced an investigation into / operation to remove fabricator sensor Cubius Delphim. Estimated time to procedure completion, 3.7 solar years. Our data suggests that the unit which used Magos Explorator Howman's identification codes performed an unauthorized upgrade on the planetary Vox array and introduced data deemed to be scrap code into its operation. The fact points to this unit's criminal complacency with the heretic Cubus Delphim. Does the big fellow have to roar? Negative. Upon completing his sanctification procedure, Tech Brother Tarsus vowed / modified his engrammatic augments algorithms in order / never to desecrate / sully / tarnish his mouth / vox / cognitive process with flesh speak. Mine is pure binaric tongue that preserves only what is true and shuns scrap data. Are you saying this bloodthirsty Hulk is a saint? This statement is true. Brother Tarsus has the honor of wearing / authorization to wear the sacred battle harness that belonged to Magos militant Ospector Gracchus, one of the first champions of the faith / holy scouts to join the conquering of the Koronus Expanse. After his death / termination of vital functions at the hands of Xenos, his damaged Goliath-class armor was preserved and given the status of a relic. The AdMech regard this act as voluntary martyrdom / self-destruction for the glory of the Deus Mechanicus. This battle harness is classified as Cogni armor. The machine spirit living it is strong and wise, but it took damage in the course of Magus Gracchus' last battle. Besides sacred litanies and imperatives in service to the Omnissiah, the armor broadcasts a continuous signal of suffering and agony into Tech Brother Tarsus' mind. Do you have any proof that this tech priest is who he claims to be? Combat, you say, right? Confirmed. According to the archive entry, Magos Explorer Tarsus Hanauman served on / maintained the ship identifier classified in the capacity of reliquary caretaker. He sustained extensive damage to both the organic and sacred part of the body in a series of sacrilegious breaches of the right of operation / an assassination attempt. Owing to a statistically fortunate coincidence / by the Omnissiah's grace, enough of his operational capacity was preserved for him to don a Goliath model sacred battle harness, which would preserve his vital functions / functionality. Archive entry personally data sealed by the captain of Identifier Classified. For vengeance I thirst as I tread the path of vengeance, following a blasphemous miscreant's bloody tracks. Analysis of the security system showed that the assassination / heretics infiltrated the reliquary using Tech Brother Tarsius' unique identification code. Someone had stolen / duplicated Tarsius' identity, which is a third-degree transgression, and the unit making the allegedly criminal claim of being Pascal Howmanin is known to have previously used / entered the stolen code. What do you say, Pascal? I deny these charges. I never plotted against my tech comrades. My cognitive purity vows were never distorted. My unique ID was never stolen. I am the true Magos Explorator, Howmanin, and I am not guilty. False witness. Get off my planet. If I ever see you try to arrest anyone in my domain again, you're going to regret it. Let those who have spurned the procedure get the wages of the profanity. Let the cycle be discontinued. You realize Pascal's words are coming from both his own Vox and Tarsus's. Then every sensor on the Executioner battle harnesses lights up at once, blindingly, and the wounded armored Leviathan lets out a deafening roar of pain. Attention, priority notification. Service units of the Kappa Thread Supply Unit are unauthorized to confront the rogue trader. Command, retreat, and reinitiate negotiations. I want that armor. Oh my god, Opticon. You really gonna take that much time to get out of here? What a cad. I think I'm gonna have to fight this guy still. It certainly looks like it. Hell yeah. I want super battle armor that does damage to me constantly. That sounds amazing. Cassia, I think I'm going to put you here, and I'm going to put Argenta here because she can do a great shot against everyone. So let's put Heinrichs there and Big A dog. Big Turg, I'll put you next to Argenta. Big A, I'll put you here. This will be good. This will be tasty. Cassie's the one I need to make sure doesn't get hit there. All enemies in that area are forced to re-roll successful dodge and parry attacks. So I'm going to run forward and I'm going to Thunder Slam and hit all of them. So that's 2. Recoil, penalties to dodge. Increase dodge. I could do that. We could also do like a tactical knowledge. And gain a ton of exploits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus 6 damage. Can't hit that guy too, can I? No. Why doesn't he have an exploit? Let's go. Tack. 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 Big hit. That's going to hit Abelard, but it also hits literally everyone else. I have to take it. Potentially huge stuns. Man, my only shame here is if I had set up a kill zone. I would have killed both those servitors in the back. But alas. RG. Let's get out the big guns. Can I do this without hitting Pascal? Yes. It's not going to do a lot of damage, I don't think, to these guys, though. God, that guy got really lucky in the back. If you run and gun and shoot him, it will also hit him, kill him, and also hit him because of the overpenetration. One HP! I can't believe it. High momentum. Let's see what he does. He's stunned. He does nothing. He deals 10 damage to himself. Fails to attack. And then we're up. Oh my god, hilarious. Heinrichs actually cannot reach anybody right now. Abelard's going to come in here and he's going to finish the two of them off, and then he's going to use his whole ability. I'll just run in with you. I don't like it, but I think it's all I've really got. All right, Big A. You know the drill. Do I want to charge in here, actually? Yeah, why not? Charge it. Cleave it. Twist it. Bop it. Pull it. Brace for impact. This guy's got a melee weapon. That guy's got a gun. I feel like the melee weapon is the more important thing for Abelard. Attacks any people in a 3-cell radius. Always retaliates when attacks. No, I think we just go Daring Breach. And we absolutely cut this dweeb down to size. And in fact, this is why we have the second chainsword on Abelard. -5 armor. -5 armor. -5 armor. Just a casual -20 armor to him. That ought to help spice things up. Attack of opportunity with Pascal. And that's all she wrote. Now, I could plasma birth them. Oh, a Scutarius. Or I could auto burst them.
Purpose guides me.
Yeah, all right. Nice, tasty crits. Parliamentum? Did somebody say Parliamentum?
Whisper.
Abelard? To battle!
My
Ooh, you have counterattack. Okay. If that's the case. I'll just kill him instead. If that's the case. You've already got temp HP on. He's already taunted. He's not. Ooh. All right, he only gets like 1 counter return though. Ow. Beauty. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah, you missed! What a noob. What an absolute noob. Let's go after this guy because we do get melee superiority. In fact, let's just go here. Let's analyze you and then go here and then push you for 90 damage. The shove didn't work, which is a little frustrating, but you can banish his machine spirit. I should probably move the front line up to here. If I had done that, I would have killed him. But c'est la vie. Abelard, bring me this man's cog. Get cogged, you dweeb. We'll just take a shot. Why not? Why not? Parliamentum. Looks like this ain't really going to be much of a problem much longer. Heinrichs, you move forward. You hit him in his tasty bit. You can dash here. Stack some hemorrhage on him. Get a free point back for... Oh, yeah. I forgot that that doesn't take anything. I really got to remember to aim for the opening if I just have a Death Whisper left. Otherwise, it's a real waste. This guy's only got the gun. So I'm gonna reckless him.
I will.
Oh! 3 attacks in 1 round? I don't know why that's happening, but yes, I'll take it. I never get quite how all the heroic breaches and everything play together. It's always very confusing. Wobble, wobble, wobble. He's wobbling so hard. Oh, good. We gotta wait for him to come back down. So how's everybody's day doing? We've got a little bit. Don't worry about it. At least we can still trade. I hope so. We haven't upset them too much. Requesting cessation of hostilities. I'm not tired at all. In fact, I can finish you off too. Pascal, what have you done to Tarzus? I am a little curious about that. Unable to fulfill requests, the Omniscience granted me an epiphany, and I muted the maimed machine spirit that was filling Tarzus's mind with fury. I don't fully understand the manner of my appeal to it. The situation perfectly mirrors the incident on Rykad Minoris, where I appealed to the machine spirit of a malfunctioning mechanism and put it to rest. That's when he, like, exploded a backhoe. Camera, hello. How are you? We're just traveling our way through space, making our way to planets. It's a very spacey day. We spent a lot of time in the warp today. Help your brother. I don't want him to do that. I guess this is the heretic option. Requesting diplomacy mode for further communication. I am not authorized to use force against Von Valancius Dynasty's supreme leader. AdMech is still accusing the unit identifying as Pascal of criminal theft of a unique identification code. Unlike Tech Brother Tarzus, I am not authorized to immediately arrest/execute the unit, but neither am I authorized to drop the inquiry. There are no apostates among us. Tech Brother Tarzus and the machine spirit that lived in his battle harness succumbed to the suffering that beset them. Their judgment was rash and erroneous. Now their torment is over. I declare them martyrs and am requisitioning Tarsus's neural augment for the purposes of preserving his blessed memory. An astonished tech priest looks on. Pascal leans over the slain man's body and extracts an augment from his skull. The movements are precise and respectful. Whatever you did, it's working. Keep going. Hell yeah. Take his relic armor as well, please. The warp is nice, isn't it? It's so cozy. Full of all those voices that just give you nice comfort and nuzzles. Do it? Think it's worth it? Oh man, I'll take whatever I can off these guys. You saw the agony your tech brother was in. His unbridled pain spurred faith, intimidated you, yet you were silent. Reverence stopped you from raising your voices to proclaim that the machine spirit with which his mind had merged was morbidly afflicted. The imperative of reverence had paralyzed your will, and you watched a tragedy unfold in silence. The sixth universal law states that comprehension is the true path to knowledge. Yet, the procedural cycle has robbed you of your comprehension. Therefore, let the cycle be discontinued. Let the cycle be discontinued. Let the cycle be discontinued, tech comrades. The shine pouring out of his visor grows dimmer. Static creeps back into his voice. Pascal, there's a little point I'm not clear on. What just happened? I've decided to back up my words with an excerpt from one of the Blessed Armanat's sermons on loss of an internal and external function, verse 4. My analysis has deemed it appropriate. Get lost or I'll spill some more blood, you sacred unguents. Request approved. The Kappa Thread supply line delegation is leaving Dargonis, express gratitude for hospitality/ceasefire, and proclaims its intent to return to Footfall to resume performing regular functions. Pascal briefly touches the shoulder of Opticon 22, who bows respectfully. Pretty good. Pretty good. You let me loot that room. You let me loot that room, game. Omnisaya X. The dude is wearing relic class armor, and all I'm allowed to get is an axe that I already have. Power sword and an improved flak vest.
Unexplored.
Bogus. Good sword, though. Chainswords are always going to be better on Abelard, but not on me. I'll take a power sword. And you have a force sword, which is the best thing for you. I guess that's it. You know, just out of curiosity. Haven't been back in this room in a while since, you know, the prologue. Denied. I'm really disappointed. I thought we were going to get an upgrade to his armor there. I don't want to take him out of his armor because it gives him like all sorts of crazy bonuses. I also believe the Omnisaya Axe gives him like a plus 15 to weapon score or something crazy like that. Actually, I wouldn't mind just looking at that. Yeah, it actually doesn't say this anywhere in this information. But Omnisaya Axe gives them a plus 15 to weapon skill. Unfortunately, the Hammer of Epiphany does significantly more damage and is better in basically every way, so. What are you gonna do? Huh? Big Dargonus and the Von Valencius Palace is where we get to land next time. Because we're out of time. That's it. That's all we got for today, folks. We spent all today in space. Literally the entire day was spent in the void, in the warp, and everywhere in between. We fought a lot of pirates. We did a lot of ship combat today. But tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, but next time we play, we'll land on Dargonus, and we'll get to explore that. Thank you for joining me in the meantime.